Okay, so we got audio clear, we got video clear. Now let's get started with the class. Now in previous class, what we have done, we have started with the theme of economy. In the previous class, we have started with the theme of economy, and in economy, we started with the climate change. In economy, we started with the climate change. Now within climate change, first topic that we have discussed was with respect to IPCC sixth assessment report. We discussed all the aspects with respect to IPCC sixth assessment report. Then next topic, within IPCC, we have discussed the structure of IPCC reports, their findings, wet bulb temperature, impact on India, impact on world. Then UN High Sea Treaty, first treaty on high sea. We have seen that it has been signed under the aegis of UN clause. It will come in, it will be implemented once 60 countries will ratify it. India has not ratified it. It will create marine protected areas. Okay, then we have discussed the global biodiversity framework, which has been which was agreed under COP15 under the CBD, and we discussed that global environment facility GEF will now oversee its financing mechanism. It has been approved. All the related aspects with respect to CBD, Nagoya Protocol, Aichi targets, which have been replaced by these 23 targets, all that we have discussed in previous class. Then further moving on, we discussed about the World Environment Day, of the 50th World Environment Day, which was celebrated recently. And we have seen all the aspects with respect to World Environment Day, whether India has hosted it or not, important schemes that were launched by the government on the 50th World Environment Day, Mishti program, Amrit Dharohar program, mangroves, mangrove cover, and all such things we have discussed when we were discussing about this. Then we have also discussed the UNEP and the reports that are released by UNEP. Then further we have discussed Blue Ocean event. So it refers to an event when Arctic will become ice free in summer, and it is an example of climate tipping point. What is climate tipping point? That also we have discussed in previous class. Then green credit program that was launched in India under Life Movement. What is Life Movement? What is green credit program? 8 type of activities that will be covered under green credit program. Then on the similar lines, there is global program also that was launched, that is Green Credit Initiative, launched by India and UAE. Fine. Then UNDP's National Carbon Registry, which will be a software to manage the carbon credits, that we have discussed. Then we discussed the climate polycrisis, that it refers to the interconnected nature of crisis, where one crisis leads to another crisis. Then hydroclimate extremes we have discussed. Then we discussed about the attach, which has been established as a platform under the WHO, where experts, countries, stakeholders can share the information with respect to climate and health. Okay, that we discussed. Then the summit for new global financing pact, which was held in Paris, and important takeaways with respect to the finance availability of developing country, we discussed in previous class. Then short-lived halogens, we have seen that when we talk about short-lived halogens, basically their role or their exact impact on climate is debatable. Some say it has positive impact, some say it has negative impact, but now in basically it has been said that the net effect of short-lived halogens on climate is that they cool the climate, that we have discussed. Then next is IMO strategy. We have discussed that it was with respect to reduction in the emissions in the shipping. Corsia plan also we have discussed, that was for aviation. Then ICED dashboard 3.0, ecocide, crimes against ecology, environment, Atlantification. We have seen that it refers to the process of Arctic becoming like Atlantic. Fine. Then COP28 takeaways, energy efficiency pledge not signed by India. Climate finance lead it 2.0, India Sweden initiative. Global River Cities Alliance India led initiative. Green industrialization initiative launched by African country. Now basically lead it 2.0, global industrialization initiative, climate club, all focus on decarbonization, but lead it is led by India and Sweden. Then green industrialization initiative is led by the African countries. Climate club, we have 36 countries, all are focusing on decarbonization, that we have discussed. Phase down versus phase out. Methane emission cuts, global methane pledge was also agreed, which India has already not signed, and here also no binding targets have been taken by India. Then loss and damage fund, which was agreed with in Egypt. Then global goal on adaptation and global stock take. We have discussed that this particular COP28 that was held, it is very important because of the first GST that was held. Now, what is GST? That we have also discussed. Okay, then climate finance, and India will be hosting that the COP33 in 2028, and then Altera, a private fund, we have all discussed. Now, guys, on the side margins, many other related developments and news also we have discussed. Fine. And I have also made you write, for example, INDCs, India's INDCs, Panchamrit, and a lot of things we have also discussed. So I hope that you are very attentive in the class, and also you are revising when you go back your home. Okay. Up till now, if you have any doubt, okay, so we just took 5 minutes and we have revised this entire class. So up till now, if there is any doubt, any question, if you have, you may please ask your doubts, and once we address them, we'll be moving to the topics for today's class. Yes, guys, any doubt, any question, if you have, you may please ask.
सर एक इंफॉर्मेशन मैं भूल गई थी, वो इंडिया एक बार होस्ट करेंगे 2033 में, कॉप 33 एडिशन 2028 में। और पहली बार वो कब किए थे वो एक बार सर बोल दीजिए।
ये लिखा हुआ है ना यहाँ पे, इंडिया हैड प्रीवियसली होस्टेड इन 2002।
तो सीओपी कितना नंबर था?
सीओपी आई थिंक इट वाज, वो मैं एक बार आपको देख के बता दूंगा, बट इट वाज मे बी, ठीक है, I'll get back to you on that thing, ठीक है। However, 2002 के अंदर बताया एग्जैक्टली, अगर आपको मीटिंग का नंबर याद कर, मीटिंग का नंबर पूछना, तो इन नेक्स्ट क्लास I'll be on that. Okay. Yes. Any other question? Any other doubt?
Sir, I have a little doubt. Like last day, you said that there will be 4 reports which are going to release in an assessment cycle, right? 3 reports are released by the respective working group, and the consolidated synthesis report, is that a summary of all 3 working group, right?
Yes. See, synthesis report, where we synthesize. What is a synthesis report? We synthesize the information from all, and we make a kind of an executive summary that, okay, what are the key takeaways? So yes, that kind of thing only.
All right, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yes. Sir, can you repeat how short-lived halogens reduce temperature? Okay, so Sonali, in previous class, we have discussed that short-lived halogens, how they reduce temperature. They reduce temperature by taking away, by removing the ozone. So ozone, basically, it is a greenhouse gas. Ozone is leading to the rise in temperatures, and it eliminates the ozone from the near Earth environment. Okay, so from troposphere, it takes away ozone. Fine. Sonali, is it clear? Now, moving on, and we also started with the reports. We discussed WISE report released by the International Center for Integrated Mountain Development. Then Fostering Effective Energy Transition 2023 report, World Economic Forum and Accenture. Then we discussed the Greenhouse Gas Bulletin, Climate Services report, Breakthrough Agenda report. Okay, all these reports we have discussed. And now moving on. Okay, so guys, here we have the adaptation gap report. Now, adaptation gap report is released by the United Nations Environment Program. It is released by United Nations Environment Program. Adaptation gap report basically highlights point that what is the money or finances that are needed for making the world adapted to the climate change. And what it provides that around $215 to $387 million per year is needed to adapt to climate change. Now understand this thing. Why this particular report was released? Because if you remember, in previous class, we have seen that it was agreed that in climate finance, $100 billion per year will be given by developed countries to the developing country. Now, developed countries says that this is sufficient, though even that $100 billion has not come. But this UNEP report, it identifies, it shows that even that $100 billion is not sufficient. Why? Because actually, $215 to $387 million per year are needed for adaptation. Then next we have is report on inclusive conservation initiative. Now this particular report is released by Global Environment Facility. If you remember, we discussed Global Environment Facility. It is a multilateral funding mechanism. It has recently also approved the Kunming-Montreal Global Biodiversity Framework Fund. So Global Environment Facility and Conservation International. Now, Conservation International is a not-for-profit organization. It is a US-based not-for-profit organization. Both of them, they released this report on inclusive conservation initiative. Now, this particular report identifies, or this particular report highlights the contribution of indigenous people in environmental conservation, but their efforts are not actually recognized. Now, this particular report identifies this particular thing, that native people, indigenous people, fine original inhabitants of a land, they own 40% of terrestrial protected areas and 37% of ecologically intact landscapes. For example, you go to Northeast, you go to Western Ghats, similarly, you go to Amazon rainforest. So large portions of land which are ecologically intact, which are preserved, they are owned by the indigenous native Adivasi people. But they don't get enough of the funding. Now, total climate financing funding that is being provided, less than 1% of climate change, less than 1% of climate change fund, less than 1% of the mitigation adaptation fund, it is directed towards the indigenous people and local communities. So they are one who are very important in the conservation of environment, but they are not getting due share, they are not getting the funding. Okay. Then next we have is building materials and the climate, constructing a new future report. Simply, you just remember it by the name of building materials report. Now, this particular report, it is released by UNEP, United Nations Environment Program, and this particular report talks about the decarbonization of construction sector. Now, you see this thing, that in construction we use a lot of commodities. For example, steel is used in construction, then cement is used in construction, aluminium is used in construction. So basically, to make cement, to make steel, iron, to make aluminium, which will be used in construction, a lot of greenhouse gas emissions happen. And according to this particular report, fine, construction sector, construction activities, they are responsible for 37% of global emissions. They are responsible for 37% of global emissions. Now, not exactly construction activity. Okay, one thing you need to understand very clearly, not only construction activity is doing the emission, but the materials that are being used for construction, you are using steel, you are using cement. To make these particular materials, a lot of emission happen. For example, in cement industry, there is pyro processing that is done. In cement industry, there is pyro processing that is done. So what is pyro processing? So here, limestone and clay, they are heated at 1400 degrees Celsius. Now, to create such high amount of heat, a lot of energy is required. And in this, excuse me, sorry. And in this particular kiln also, a lot of greenhouse gases are emitted. So entire construction sector, building materials that are made, which do a lot of carbon emission, this activity is to be decarbonized immediately. It is to be decarbonized immediately. So who highlights this particular point? Building materials and the climate report. Who releases this particular report? This report is released by the UNEP. Okay. Then next we have global trends on land degradation and drought report. Global trends on land degradation and drought report. Now, first of all, guys, when we talk about land degradation can be anthropogenic, means could be because of human activities. Land degradation could be because of the natural environmental reasons also. For example, Chambal River. We see this particular thing, that in Chambal region of Madhya Pradesh, there is a lot of badland topography that has been there, okay, which has been created because of the geographical reasons. Okay, sometimes we see this particular thing, that environmental reasons, they are responsible for land degradation, but sometimes man-made reasons, excessive usage of certain type of chemicals, it can also lead to the land degradation. Now, we are losing a lot of land because of land degradation, and we find this particular thing, that in 2015 to 2019, in these 4 years, every year 100 million hectare of land was lost. 100 million hectare of land was lost, and in total in 4 years, 402 million hectares of land was lost because of the degradation. Now, if the land will get degraded, how we will carry agriculture? it will lead to food insecurity. So therefore, land restoration, land reclamation is to be immediately focused. This is highlight of this particular report. It highlights on reclaiming as well as it highlights the restoration of land. And who releases this report? United Nations Convention to Combat Desertification, UNCCD. It releases the report. Now, basically, this particular report identifies that by 2030, it is important to achieve land degradation neutrality. Achieve the land degradation neutrality by 2030. Now, what is land degradation neutrality? So basically, guys, understand this particular thing. Land degradation neutrality refers to the situation when we have sufficient lands. Let me explain you this even more basically. See, land is being degraded. Land is being degraded. Fine. Now, some of the land is degraded because of the human activities. Some of the land get degraded because of the environmental reasons, natural reasons. Now, natural reasons you don't have any control. So even if you stop the human activities leading to land degradation, natural activities will continue, but still some land will get degraded. But at the same time, we need to focus on land reclamation and land restoration, so that the amount of land that is getting degraded can be balanced out by the land that is being reclaimed and that is being restored. You are losing 100 hectares of land by degradation. You need to restore 100 hectares of land. That is the land degradation neutrality. Now, what happens by this land degradation neutrality? So, amount and quality of land necessary to support the ecosystem or to enhance the food security remains stable. Okay. If we are losing the land every year, then obviously food insecurity will become challenge. So land is getting degraded, but also you are restoring the land so that the land which you need for certain necessary needs, it stays stable. Okay. So land degradation neutrality is to be achieved by 2030. Okay. Fine. Next we have Global Infrastructure Resilience Report. Global Infrastructure Resilience Report. Now, this particular report is released by Coalition for Disaster Resilient Infrastructure, CDRI. Coalition for Disaster Resilient Infrastructure, CDRI. Now, CDRI is a grouping of countries, and India is also the member of the CDRI. Now, this CDRI grouping, it provides the technical assistance to countries so that how they can develop resilient infrastructure. Now, let's understand this particular thing, guys. Suppose there is an island nation, and that island nation has only one airstrip, and by this airstrip they actually are connected with the entire world. Let's say a cyclone comes, and let's say a cyclone or a tsunami comes, and that airstrip is destroyed. Now, by this single infrastructure that got destroyed there, they are cut off from entire world. Now, let's say a tsunami strikes big countries such as India, and let's say 1 or 2 airports, they become dysfunctional for a few days, but still there are hundreds of other airports that we have, okay, in India. So it will not impact that much. So small island nations which have very few infrastructure, it is very important for these island nations to protect that infrastructure, because they have this very less infrastructure, and to provide them technical know-how, CDRI works. Now, they have released this Global Infrastructure Resilient Report, and they advocates that countries need to invest in resilient infrastructure. Now, what is this resilient infrastructure? Now, there is a traditional infrastructure that we have focused earlier, and the second is resilient infrastructure. Now, resilient infrastructure is a special type of infrastructure that can absorb negative impacts of climate change, that does not get impacted by the disasters, etc. So resilient infrastructure is a special type of infrastructure that can absorb, respond, and can quickly recover from hazardous events. So countries need to invest in this resilient infrastructure. Okay, fine. So traditional infrastructure has become obsolete. Okay, particularly infrastructure development that has happened after World War II, that type of infrastructure is called resilient infrastructure. Okay, so this it has talked about. Okay, and nature-based infrastructure solutions. Nature-based infrastructure solution. So basically, it refers to special type of activities which provide infrastructure does not have negative impact on climate change also. Okay. Now, for example, guys, if you remember, just few minutes back, I told you that construction and related activities are responsible for 37% of emission. So you are using a lot of steel, you are using a lot of cement or other XYZ kind of materials. Basically, that construction activity has a negative impact on environment, will lead to climate change. So developing infrastructure which will provide you the basic infrastructure, but at the same time will not have negative impact on climate change. We need to find out such approaches. We need to find out such solutions to infrastructure development. So nature-based solutions to infrastructure are to be found out. So this is the important highlight of this global infrastructure resilience report. Okay, global infrastructure resilience report. Now, moving on to the next one. Global pathway report. Global pathway report. Now, global pathway to keep the 1.5 degree Celsius goal in reach. So if you remember yesterday class, I explained you that in Paris Agreement 2015, we took the goal that we'll try to ensure that temperature does not rises beyond 2 degrees Celsius, and if possible, it should not go beyond 1.5 degrees Celsius. So global pathway to keep 1.5 degrees Celsius goal in reach. So this particular report is released by the International Energy Agency. International Energy Agency. Now, this report says that window to achieve this 1.5 degrees Celsius is very limited. It is very narrow. You need to act immediately. Otherwise, you will not be able to keep the temperature within this 1.5 degree limit. And this particular report advocates that what we need to do, we need to triple renewable energy capacity by 2030, by the end of this decade. If you remember, on this exact line, there was energy efficiency pledge that was also proposed in the 2028 COP Dubai. Okay, so they talk about that we need to triple down the renewable energies. Who releases the report? International Energy Agency. International Energy Agency. Then next we have imperative of cutting methane from fossil fuel report. Imperative of cutting methane from fossil fuel. Imperative of cutting methane from fossil fuel report. Now, this particular report, it talks about that we need to immediately focus on cutting down methane emissions. Now, methane has higher global warming potential when compared to CO2. So therefore, methane is to be cut down immediately. And this particular report said that if we will cut down the methane, we'll be able to have an impact of 0.1 degree Celsius on climate change. So they say that targeted methane mitigation could avoid 0.1 degree Celsius warming by 2050. Without acting on methane, the temperature rise will be 1.6 degrees Celsius. But if you cut down the methane, then the temperature rise can be restricted to 1.5 degrees Celsius. So targeted methane cutting will be able to, targeted cutting of methane could avoid 0.1 degree Celsius warming by 2050. So immediately methane is to be cut down. Methane mitigation can prevent 1 million premature deaths. Okay, so for this thing, global methane pledge was also signed. India has up till now not signed that particular global methane pledge. Now, who releases this particular report? So this report is released by 3 agencies. International Energy Agency, IEA. Then next is UNEP, United Nations Environment Program. And third is Climate and Clean Air Coalition. Climate and Clean Air Coalition. Fine. So these 3 agencies release this particular report. Then next we have Sustainable Finance Bridging the Gap in Asia and Pacific report. Sustainable Financing report. Sustainable Financing report. Now, this particular report, it is released by UNESCAP. UNESCAP stands for United Nation Economic and Social Commission for Asia Pacific. United Nation Economic Social Commission for Asia Pacific, UNESCAP. It advocates the sustainable development for Asia Pacific region. So UNESCAP has released this Sustainable Finance Bridging the Gap in Asia Pacific report. Now, what this report talks about? This report talks about that there is a sufficient capital and liquidity. There is a sufficient capital that is there which is needed for sustainable development, that is needed for avoiding the climate change. But that capital is actually not accessible. Capital is not available with the developing country. Capital is there, but capital is not accessible to developing countries, particularly the countries in Asia Pacific region. And because of this particular thing, Asia Pacific region is not able to meet their sustainable developmental goals by 2030. So you already might be knowing about sustainable development goals. We have 17 sustainable developmental goals that are to be achieved by 2030. Within these 17 sustainable developmental goals, there are 169 sub targets also that we have. So Asia Pacific, because they don't have a financing, they don't have access to financing, they are not able to meet their SDG goals. Fine. Only 17 countries out of the 51 Asia Pacific countries, they have assessed and reported the financial needs to meet the INDCs. Fine. Majority of countries have also not assessed that how much money they need to reach their INDCs. Only 17 they have assessed that how much money they need to reach the INDCs. So who releases this report? Report is released by the UNSCAP. Now remember this thing, that as report focuses on Asia Pacific, find UNSCAP, which also focuses on Asia Pacific. It is the organization that is releasing report. Fine. Okay. Now, before moving forward, I just would I just want that you please take 30 seconds to 1 minute of time. Please go through this particular report. Okay. In fact, take 1 minute of time, because now I don't expect that you will go back home and you'll revise. So all the revision learning should happen within the class also itself. So take 1 minute of time and read all the reports. I will be just doing one small exercise, 30 seconds. I'll be giving you the name of a report and will be asking which organization is releasing this report. And you have to answer. Okay. So please go through your notes and till this, have a look fast. I'm giving you 1 minute time. Please go through these reports fast. Yes. Now I'm going to ask name of report and you have to write in the comment box that which organization is releasing it. No need to write their full name. You can write the short form or one or two related keyword also you can write. Okay. For example, uh, uh, because in prelims examination, what we need to do, we need to identify the right option from the wrong one. So if you have a nearby idea also, it will do. And please everybody try to participate it, because it will only help you, will reinforce your memory. Okay. Wise report. Who releases the wise report? Please write in the comment box. Only one word, short form, whatever you want, you can type. Yes, who releases wise report? Yes, others. I want, see, you need to understand this thing, that this exercise is only for you. If you will not participate, I'll not be going forward with the revisions. So if you don't want revision, that also you can tell me right away. Will not be spending the time on that. But if you want it, I want response from your side. So only if 2 or 3 students are going to respond, then it will not make any sense for us. Okay. Yes, others. Yes, Ritika, Preetam, Megha, Sayan, Naveen. Debraya. Okay. So it is released by the Integrated Center for Integrated Mountain Development. Then quickly, fostering effective energy transition report. Fostering effective energy transition report. Quickly. Fostering effective energy transition report. Who releases? World Economic Forum. Very good, very good. Climate service report. Climate service report. Quickly. Climate service report. Climate service report. Who releases it? WMO. Very good. The next, building materials report. Building materials and the climate report. Building materials and the climate report. Who releases it? Very good, very good. Keep it up, guys. Answer it. Don't worry, even if it is wrong. When I'll tell the right answer, then you will be pretty much alarmed and will help you. UNEP. The next, global trends on land degradation and drought report. Global trends on land degradation and drought report. Fine. Very good, very good, very good. Excellent. UNCCD. Then next is global infrastructure resilience report. Global infrastructure resilience report. Yes. Quick. CDRI. Very good. CDRI. Very good. Sustainable financing bridging the gap in Asia Pacific. Sustainable financing bridging the gap in Asia Pacific. Who releases it? Who releases it? Sustainable financing bridging the gap in Asia Pacific. Sustainable financing bridging the gap in Asia Pacific. Who releases it? UNSCAP. Very good. Excellent. Excellent, everybody. And I am really proud of all of you that you have participated, and most of you are giving the right answers only. Fine. Very rarely I have seen any wrong answer. Most of them are right, and I am expecting that you have given answer at your own without referring to the material. Very good, because it's important that we should be able to revise it also, because now we don't have time that we'll be going back home and we'll be doing that. Na? Okay. Now, here, guys, we yes.
One question, sir. Adaptation gap report. Please explain, sir, once.
Which report? Adaptation gap report.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes. Adaptation gap report. So, just a minute. Yes, we have this adaptation gap report. Now, what adaptation gap report provides? Adaptation gap reports provides that how much money is needed by the developing country, how much money is needed to adapt to the climate change. Okay. Now see, the world will change because of the climate change. So in this changed world, we need to change our lifestyles. We need to change a lot of things by which we are doing the work. We need to change our methodologies. So to adapt, we need this much money. Countries need $215 to $387 billion to adapt to the climate change. It is giving the amount of money that is required. But actual money that is coming, it is very much less. It is very much less. Yes, dear, is it clear?
Yes, sir. Clear, sir.
Okay, now then further moving on, guys. Here we have these two reports. Here we have these two reports. That is children displaced in a changing climate report and climate change child. So the names are very much related, very much same kind of similar. Children displaced in changing climate and climate change child report. Now both have children in this, and both of these reports are released by the UNICEF. Both of these reports are released by the UNICEF. And this particular report, it is making a relation that how climate change is impacting the children. So it establishes a connection between climate, mobility, and childhood. Now, according to this particular report, it is being said that a lot of children, they are not able to continue their education because of the climate change. So they were living at a particular area, flood happened, sea level rised, or any other climatic disaster happened, and they have to migrate to other place. And as they'll migrate to their place, they might not be able to continue their education once they have migrated. So climate change has a critical and a negative impact on children's well-being. So millions of children are being driven from their homes. Okay, millions of children, they have to run away from their home, and once they migrate, they are not able to continue their education. Also, children are exposed to water stress. They are also exposed to environmental stress because of the climate change that is happening. And these are the countries where the highest stress is there on the children, specifically because of climate change. And here India is also there. So therefore, this report you need to know, you need to remember this report. India, Niger, Eritrea, Yemen, Burkina Faso. 5 countries where children are exposed because of the water stress, which is because of the climate change. So climate change, it is having the highest negative impact on children's here. Okay. Just a minute. Fine. Moving. Then next we have climate equality report. Climate equality report. Now climate equality report is released by Oxfam. This report is released by Oxfam. Now this particular report, it talks about the climate injustice. It talks about climate inequity. Now this report says that rich people, rich countries are the ones who have polluted the most. But the maximum negative impact of climate change, which happened because of pollution, it is being faced by the poor countries, poor people. So this report says that so in 2019, super rich, 1% of super rich people, they were responsible for 16% of carbon emission. Okay, now this 1% people's carbon emission is equivalent to the carbon emission emitted by the 66% of the poorest people. Okay, so rich people's carbon emissions, the top 1%, top 1% of the rich people, they are responsible for 16% emission, which is equivalent to the emissions done by the 66% of the humanity. Okay, and where the biggest impact is of who are getting impacted when wet bulb temperature will rise. Who will be impacted? Poor people, because they cannot afford air conditioning. So what this report talks? This report talks that there need to be additional taxes on super rich people. Then next we have a Paris Agreement Synthesis Report 2023. Who releases this report? UNFCCC Secretariat. And what this particular report talks about? Here this report analyzes the INDCs of 195 countries. Okay, and world is off the track to Paris Agreement goal. GST, Global Stocktake, also has mentioned the same thing. Okay, implementing the NDCs. I told you different countries have taken the target. India has also taken the NDCs. Implementing the current NDCs will increase emission by 8.8% by 2030. Means that even if you implement the NDC targets, then also the net increase will be there in the emissions. There will be no reduction. Emissions need to be cut down by 45% by 2030. Okay, if we need to reach the goal of 1.5 degree. Okay, so these are important reports that we have. Now I am just going to ask the 2 of the reports name. Please write in the comment box that who releases that report. Climate equality report, who releases it? Please write it in the comment box. Climate equality report. Climate equality report, who releases? Oxfam. Very good. Who releases this report? This report is released by the Oxfam. Okay, one more I will ask you. Adaptation gap report, who releases it? Adaptation gap report. Adaptation gap report. Adaptation gap report, it is released by UNEP. Who releases it? Adaptation gap report released by the UNEP. Okay, very good, very good. Now, moving on to the third theme, that is protected areas that were in news. Protected areas that were in news. Now, this is going to be a very important section. And in environment, there is a great probability that a question from this particular area could be asked. Great probability that a question from this particular area can be asked. Now, protected areas. First is Mukurthi National Park. Mukurthi National Park. Now, guys, when we talk about the Mukurthi National Park, okay, Mukurthi National Park, it is located in Tamil Nadu. It is located in Tamil Nadu, and it was in news. Now, first of all, one very important thing, and here, guys, please note down certain points in your handouts. I am going to give you some important points. So please have a pen ready. Mukurthi National Park. Now see, Mukurthi National Park, it is located in Western Ghats, and it is a part of Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve. It is the part of Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve. Just a minute, guys. Okay. So, guys, Mukurthi National Park. Now, Mukurthi National Park, it is located in Tamil Nadu, Western Ghats, and it is the part of Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve. Now, see, we have 18 biosphere reserves in India. We have 18 biosphere reserves in India. Out of 18 biosphere reserves, 12 biosphere reserves, they are recognized under UNESCO. They are recognized under UNESCO Man and Biosphere Program. UNESCO Man and Biosphere Program. Now, UNESCO Man and Biosphere Program, it was initiated in 1971. And this UNESCO Man and Biosphere, under this UNESCO Man and Biosphere Reserve Program, those biosphere reserves, protected areas are recognized, which have shown a positive correlation between habitations, native people, environment, flora, fauna. Okay, so UNESCO under their Man and Biosphere program recognizes the biosphere reserves and protected areas. In India, out of 18, 12 are recognized. Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve, Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve is one of these 12. Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve is one of this 12. One thing. Now, when we talk about Nilgiris, one very important thing. There are many protected areas that we have in Nilgiris. Okay, so mapping based question, one very important aspect of mapping can be there. They might give you that, okay, please choose the option that which of the protected area is in Nilgiri. So, as Mukurthi National Park is within Nilgiri, that also information will be taking up here. So, please note down here on the side margin. Within Nilgiri, we have multiple protected areas. Okay, please write. In Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve, we have multiple protected areas. Number one, Tamil Nadu. Number one, Tamil Nadu. So in Tamil Nadu, we have Muddumalai National Park. Muddumalai National Park. Muddumalai National Park is there. Then next is Mukurthi National Park. Then the next is Mukurthi National Park. Already we are seeing it. Mukurthi. Then there is Satyamangalam Wildlife Sanctuary. Satyamangalam. Then there is Satyamangalam Wildlife Sanctuary. Okay. Now these are protected areas in Tamil Nadu. These are protected areas in Tamil Nadu. Just a minute, guys. Okay. So these are all the protected areas in Tamil Nadu. Muddumalai National Park. Muddumalai National Park. Then we have Mukurthi National Park. Then we have Satyamangalam Wildlife Sanctuary. These are the protected areas within Nilgiri. Okay. These are the protected areas within Nilgiri. Then next we have Karnataka. Next we have Karnataka. So in Karnataka we have Nagarhole National Park. In Karnataka we have Nagarhole National Park, Bandipur National Park, Nagarhole National Park, Bandipur National Park. Fine. Then after that, we have Kerala. Then after that, we have Kerala. Then we have Kerala. Now, just a minute. Kerala. So in Kerala, we have, you may write Silent Valley National Park. Silent Valley National Park. Silent Valley National Park. Then next is Aralam Wildlife Sanctuary. Aralam Wildlife Sanctuary. Wayanad Wildlife Sanctuary. Wayanad Wildlife Sanctuary. Wayanad Wildlife Sanctuary. Then there is a Karim Puza Wildlife Sanctuary. Karim Puza Wildlife Sanctuary. So what we have done, let me explain you again. If in case there is any confusion in your mind, let me explain again. If there is any confusion in your mind, we are seeing protected areas that were in news. Within the protected areas, first we have seen the Mukurthi National Park. Now, Mukurthi National Park, it is the part of Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve. Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve has multiple protected areas. It has protected areas in 3 states. Number 1 is Tamil Nadu, number 2 is Karnataka, number 3 is Kerala. So we have seen in Tamil Nadu, which protected areas do we have? Then Karnataka, which protected areas do we have? And this is the Kerala protected areas that we have here. Is it clear or not? So within Nilgiri, we have a lot of these protected areas. And out of that, one we have is Mukurthi National Park. Mukurthi National Park is located in which state? It is located in Tamil Nadu. It is located in Tamil Nadu. It was in news. Now, when we talk about the Mukurthi National Park, okay, here we have Nilgiri Thar that is found. Nilgiri Thar, it is a keystone species, the most important species that is found here. Its status is endangered. Its status is endangered. Now, guys, if you see in the notes, I have also provided you the forest type that is found here. But I'll not advise you to go and mug up this forest type. Rather, just use your logic. So you might have already covered in geography the vegetation type that is found in the different areas, depending on the temperature and rainfall that you have there. So on that particular basis, try to take a guess rather than remembering the forest type of entire different areas. Okay. Now, one very important thing is that some important tribes are also found here in Mukurthi National Park region, okay, which were actually in the news. Some important tribes are also found here. Basically, tribes that are I'm mentioning, they are found in Mukurthi National Park, but they are also found in largely these are the tribes of actually Nilgiris. These are the tribe of Nilgiris also coexist in Mukurthi National Park. So I am going to give you the names of the tribes of Nilgiris. Some of them are also found in Mukurthi National Park. These tribes were also in news. So please write their name. Badagas, Todas, Kotas, Badagas, Badagas, Todas, Kotas, Badagas, Todas, Kotas, Irulla, Irulla, Adian, and Pania. Okay. So these are some important tribes of Nilgiris. Okay. Important tribe of Nilgiris. Important tribes of Nilgiris. Fine. I hope it is clear to everyone. Okay, so guys, understand this thing that there are certain news that are there in the there are certain things that were there in the news, but they are actually the tits and bits. So we have to integrate them under these particular things also. Now, idea to give this information is so that you should have a wide knowledge base, so that by elimination, permutation, combination, you will be able to guess the right answer. So sometimes having a wide knowledge base, helps you to mark the answers, to do elimination in the examination. Okay. So guys, I hope that you have understood it. So we discussed Mukurthi National Park, which is in Tamil Nadu. It was in news. When we discuss Mukurthi National Park, we have seen that it is a part of a Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve. Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve is one of the biosphere reserve under Man and Biosphere Reserve program of UNESCO. In total, we have 18. Out of 18, 12 are recognized under the UNESCO Man and Biosphere Reserve program. Okay. Next. Similipal Tiger Reserve. Okay. First of all, guys, let me know this thing, that are you able to understand it or not? If there is any confusion, please tell me that confusion. Can I move to the next? Okay. So please be very careful and please be very attentive that you take down all these bits and pieces of information. Why? Because these things are not usually available in your mainstream text, and also we are not going to search them separately also. So wherever we can put them in the content, it is important for us. We should do that. So I hope that it's clear to all of you. Now moving to the Similipal Tiger Reserve, it was in news. Now Similipal Tiger Reserve was also in news, and particularly for the melanistic tigers, it was in news. Melanistic tigers, it was used. So Odisha government, they have deployed the armed police personnel to protect these melanistic tigers. Now, what are melanistic tiger? Melanistic tigers are the ones which have exceptionally black color coat. They will have a darker coat. Fine, black color patches will be there on their skin, on their coat, on their fur. Now, why? Because they produce excessive melanin. Now, melanin is produced by our skin, which gives the dark tone. So people who have dark tone, it is because their skin they produce excessive melanin. So the tigers, some of them, they also produce excessive melanin. And because of that, those tigers will have an exceptionally darker fur, darker coat. They are called as melanistic tigers. And these melanistic tigers are found in the Similipal Tiger Reserve. Now, Similipal Tiger Reserve is in Odisha. Similipal Tiger Reserve is in Odisha. And this Similipal Tiger Reserve, it is also the part of Similipal Biosphere Reserve. Similipal Biosphere Reserve. Now, this Similipal Biosphere Reserve is also the part of UNESCO World Network of Biosphere Reserve, or in simple words, Man and Biosphere Program. So, Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve is part of UNESCO Man and Biosphere Program. Similipal is also the part of UNESCO Man and Biosphere Reserve Program. Also, the biosphere reserves that are the part of it, they are also called as the UNESCO World Network of Biosphere Reserves. Okay, so no need to get confused. Now, it lies in the Eastern Ghats, eastern end of Eastern Ghats. Okay, Eringa Kharia, Manikardiya tribes also live here in the Similipal Tiger Reserve. Okay, so Similipal Tiger Reserve, and also we have the Similipal Biosphere Reserve. Now, as we have discussed about the tiger, some important aspects with respect to the tiger should also be noted down, because this is very important. So I'll advise you to note down these particular other extra points on your side margins. Now, please note these points down. Number one, when we talk about the tigers, so tigers, they have endangered status. They have endangered status as per IUCN Red List. They have endangered status as per the IUCN Red List. Okay. Secondly, 70% of the tiger population in the world, it is found in India. 70% of tiger population in the world, it is in India. Third, there are 13 tiger range countries that we have. There are 13 tiger range countries that are there. And out of these 13 tiger range country, India is one of a tiger range country. What are these tiger range countries? You can note it down if you want, because if a question comes that which of this is a tiger range country, then it will help you. So tiger range countries that we have, please note them down. So You can note it down. India, 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 Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Bangladesh, Bhutan, Nepal, India, Bangladesh, Bhutan, Nepal, Cambodia, Cambodia, China, Cambodia, China, Indonesia, Indonesia, Laos, Laos, Malaysia, Malaysia, Myanmar, Malaysia, Myanmar, Thailand, Vietnam, Thailand, Vietnam, Russia, Russia. So India, Bhutan, Bangladesh, Nepal. In the neighborhood, we have Myanmar also. Then Cambodia, China, Indonesia, Laos, Malaysia, Thailand, Vietnam, Russia. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So these 13 countries are called as the tiger range countries. Okay, tiger range countries. India is one of a tiger range country, and 70% of tiger population is in India. 70% of tiger population is in India. Then guys, then one very important thing. So the most important convention or treaty or agreement on the tiger population is St. Petersburg Tiger Summit that was held in 2010. So St. Petersburg, there is a St. Petersburg Summit. St. Petersburg Summit. It was held in 2010. Now this particular summit has specifically mentioned about doubling the tiger population. Doubling the tiger population by 2022. The objective of St. Petersburg Summit was to double up the tiger population by 2022. India has already doubled the tiger population before 2022 only. Okay, St. Petersburg Summit to double the tiger's population. Okay, by 2022. Now, one more thing with respect to tiger. So, there is a cats. There is a cats. Now, what is a cats? Cats stands for Conservation Assured Tiger Standards. CATS stands for Conservation Assured Tiger Standards. Conservation Assured Tiger Standards, CATS. Now, what is this CATS? This CATS, it is an accreditation, affiliation. CATS refers to an accreditation, affiliation, which is given to those particular protected areas, which it is given to those particular protected areas which are professionally managed, Okay, so it is a affiliation which is given to those protected areas where there is a possibility that it will lead to successful conservation of tiger. Professionally managed area will lead to successful conservation of tiger. If they believe that it will lead to successful conservation of tigers, then that particular protected area is given the CATS certification. They are given the CATS certification. Fine. Now in India, CATS accreditation. In India, CATS accreditation is given by whom? It is given by the number one, Wildlife Fund of India. Fine. World Wildlife Fund of India. World Wildlife Fund World Wildlife Fund India. World Wildlife Fund India. Then we have the GTF, Global Tiger Forum. Global Tiger Forum. And National Tiger Conservation Authority, NTCA. National Tiger Conservation Authority. So in India, World Wildlife Fund India, Global Tiger Forum, and NTCA, National Tiger Conservation Authority, they give the CATS certification. They give the CATS certification or CATS accreditation. This is an accreditation given to those protected areas which will successfully lead to the conservation or the preservation of tigers. Is it clear or not? Fine. Now, one more thing, guys, is that there is TX2 award that is also sometimes it is there in the news. See this particular thing. TX2 award. Now, what is the TX2 award? TX2 award are given to those protected areas which have doubled their tiger population. Recently, TX2 award was given to Pilibhit and Satyamangalam Tiger Reserve. Pilibhit, UP. Pilibhit, UP. And Satyamangalam Tiger Reserve, Tamil Nadu. Already we have discussed Satyamangalam. Satyamangalam is a tiger reserve also. Okay, so no need to get confused. So Pilibhit in UP and Satyamangalam Tiger Reserve in Tamil Nadu. Recently, they have got this TX2 award. TX2 award is given to those protected areas which have doubled the tiger population. Doubled the tiger population. Okay, is it clear or not? Fine. Then there is also M-Stripes program. M-Stripes. There is M-Stripes. Now, what is M-Stripes? Please write M-Stripes. It is initiative by NTCA. M-Stripes. क्या है ये? What is this M-Stripes? M-Stripes is an initiative by NTCA, National Tiger Conservation Authority. National Tiger Conservation Authority for effective patrolling and monitoring of tigers. For effective monitoring of tigers. M-Stripes. Now see how UPSC asks the question. UPSC usually, I said earlier also that they give broad options. UPSC asks question that M-Stripes program is related to what? Tiger, leopard, elephant, fine, penguins, what it leads to. Four options were given that what for what it is related to. So it is related to tiger. They didn't even ask that, okay, with respect to tiger, what component it is related to. They simply asked that which category of animal it is related to. So tiger. Okay, guys, I hope you have understood it. Also, one more thing, few more things with respect to tiger reserves when we talk about tiger reserves, few things. So tiger reserves, they are also referred to as critical tiger habitats. Critical tiger habitats and tiger reserves are basically, understand this thing. The concept of tiger reserves in India was introduced after the Project Tiger came. Now state government after taking the approval of NTCA, National Tiger Conservation Authority can declare a tiger reserve. So state government has the power to declare a tiger reserve after taking the approval from NTCA, National Tiger Conservation Authority. Okay. Now, as per the latest data that we have from the website of NTCA, how many tiger reserves we have in India? As of now, guys, we have 55 tiger reserves in India. As of now, we have 55 tiger reserves in India. Okay, the latest tiger reserves that we have, it is the Virangana Durgavati Tiger Reserve. Virangana Durgavati Tiger Reserve. Okay, Virangana Durgavati Tiger Reserve is in Madhya Pradesh. And Dholpur Karoli Tiger Reserve. Dholpur Karoli Tiger Reserve. Just a minute, guys. Okay. Virangana Durgavati Tiger Reserve, Madhya Pradesh. And Dholpur Karoli. Dholpur Karoli Tiger Reserve, Rajasthan. Fine. This was 54th. And this is the latest 55th tiger reserve. So as of now, we have 55 tiger reserves in India. Latest ones that we have is Virangana Durgavati Tiger Reserve of Madhya Pradesh, Dholpur Karoli Tiger Reserve of Rajasthan. These are latest tiger reserves. These are latest tiger reserves. Okay. These are latest tiger reserves. Fine. Can state government declare a tiger reserve? Yes, they can declare a tiger reserve, but they have to take approval from whom? They have to take approval from NTCA, National Tiger Conservation Authority. Okay. So guys, beyond this, I don't feel that you should read anything with respect to the tiger and related things. Okay. Because if a question will come from this particular area, this information will either give directly, it can be used, or for elimination, for permutation combination, the knowledge will be sufficient. Okay. Clear to everyone? Clear to everyone? Any doubt if you have, you can ask. Any question if you have, you can ask. So I hope it is clear to everyone. Okay. Just I'll give you a quick 10-second revision if you want. Okay. So what we have discussed, just a minute. Yes. See, tigers, their status is endangered as per IUCN list. 70% tiger population is in India. We have 13 tiger range country. India is one of a tiger range country. St. Petersburg summit in 2010 aims to double the tiger population by 2022. India has already doubled. Actually, 4 years earlier, India has developed. In 2018, only India doubled. Then we have seen that there is a CATS status that is given to those. This is a CATS accreditation that is given to those protected areas which are professionally managed and which have the possibility that they can conserve the tiger effectively. Those protected areas are given the CATS certification. Who gives the CATS accreditation? WWF India, GTF, and the NTCA. Then there is a TX2 award. TX2 award is given to those tiger reserves or protected areas which have doubled the tiger population. And recently, Pilibhit Tiger Reserve in UP and Satyamangalam in Tamil Nadu, they have got the TX2 award. Then we have seen the M Stripes. M Stripes is an initiative by NTCA for the patrolling of tigers and for surveillance on them. And then we have discussed the tiger reserves. The latest tiger reserve we have is the latest one is Dholpur Karoli in Rajasthan. Before that, there was Virangana Durgavati Tiger Reserve that was in MP. Okay, fine. Moving on to the next one. Okay, so idea is very simple, that we need to take as much information. We need to ensure that we should have a very much knowledge dense coverage. Then next is Debrigarh Wildlife Sanctuary. Debrigarh Wildlife Sanctuary. So recently, Debrigarh Wildlife Sanctuary was in news because it has been made completely free from human settlement. So it has been made completely free from human settlement. Okay. Now, when we talk about the Debrigarh Wildlife Sanctuary, where it is located? It is located in Odisha. It is located in Odisha. Iconic animals that we have here is Indian bison, wild boar, sambar, peacock. Fine. Hirakud Reservoir. It is a Ramsar site. Now, basically, Ramsar sites are those particular wetlands which have been recognized under the Ramsar Convention of 1971. So, Hirakud Reservoir, which is a Ramsar site, it is within the Odisha's Debrigarh. Then, it is also an international bird. Sorry, it is located next to the sanctuary. Sorry, Hirakud Reservoir located to next, and also Hirakud is a international bird area. Hirakud is also the international bird area. Now, one very important thing, guys, with respect to the international bird area. Now, international bird area are recognized by BirdLife International. International bird area is recognized by the BirdLife International. Now, BirdLife International is official agency which releases IUCN Red List for birds. IUCN Red List for birds. Okay. So you already might be knowing about the IUCN Red List, in which the different statuses of the animals, creatures are given. So IUCN status for the birds. IUCN Red List for the birds. Who prepares it? So IUCN Red List for birds, it is prepared by BirdLife International. It is an international NGO. Very important thing. Now, basically, which area is recognized as? Which area is recognized as international bird area? Which area is recognized as international bird area? So in order to get recognized as international bird area, there are three basically, fine, three conditions are there, three parameters are there. On these particular parameters basis, any area could be recognized as international bird area. Number one, if it contains a sizable population of globally threatened birds. Sizable population of globally threatened bird species. Globally threatened bird species. Second is that if it contains biome restricted birds. Okay, you might have read about the biomes in your geography and environment. So the birds which are restricted to only one biome, if they live in sizable number at a particular area, it can be declared as an international bird area. Third, if it contains a large population of migratory birds. If it contains large population of migratory birds. So on these three particular bases, these are the three parameters on whose basis any area can be declared as an international bird area. International bird area. Who declares it? It is declared by the BirdLife International. Now, BirdLife International is official agency which prepares the IUCN Red List for birds. Now, one very important thing. First of all, guys, you need not to go and remember all the sites that have been recognized here. Okay, why? Because there are 554 sites as of now which are there. Okay, and very frequently they are increased. So not possible to remember the 550 plus sites. Okay. One thing that you need to remember, guys, is that, see, BirdLife International, whenever they declare any, whenever they declare the bird, any international bird area for any country, they have a country specific partner also. So the partner of BirdLife International in India is Bombay Natural History Society. The partner for BirdLife International in India is BNHS, Bombay Natural History Society. Now, on BNHS also a question has already been asked, but again, questions are very broad. So they asked that Bombay Natural History Society, what it is. They have asked its nature. So it is an NGO. Bombay Natural History Society is an NGO which focuses on the conservation, of flora, on conservation of environment and uh, biodiversity. Bombay Natural History Society. They have asked. So what it is? It is an NGO, not related with history, related with environmental conservation. Bombay Natural History Society. Okay. So it is its partner in India. Yes, are we clear or not? Fine. So Hirakud Reservoir, fine, which is an international bird area. It is also located next to the Debrigarh Wildlife Sanctuary. Now, moving on to the next one. Fine. Guys, if anyone having any doubt with respect to the related information that we have taken up till now, please ask that particular doubt. Don't hesitate, don't shy. Any doubt, anyone, if you are having, please ask that particular doubt. You need not to hesitate. Yes, guys, any doubt to anyone? No? Good. Moving on. Next, Dibru-Saikhowa National Park. Dibru-Saikhowa National Park. Now, Dibru-Saikhowa National Park, it is also the Biosphere Reserve also. It is an important bird area also. Fine. Where it is located? What is the aim of BNHS? So, Bombay Natural History Society wants to create awareness with respect to the environmental and biodiversity conservation. It focuses on awareness generation. It carries activities with respect to environmental conservation and preservation, biodiversity conservation. Okay, so this is the BNHS. Fine, Sonali, I hope your doubt is clear. Now, Dibru-Saikhowa National Park. So basically, guys, what happened? There was deadly fire that erupted just in the vicinity of Dibru-Saikhowa National Park. That is Bagjan oil and gas leak that happened. Okay, so just 2-3 years back, there was a deadly fire that occurred because of the gas leak. Fine, gas leak in the Bagjan. There was this Bagjan oil and gas leak. This happened next to this Dibru-Saikhowa National Park. Now, many people, they got injured there. So recently, NGT, National Green Tribunal, ordered compensation to the victims of the Bagjan oil and gas leak. Now this, just a minute, this Bagjan oil and gas leak that happened, it happened next to this Dibru-Saikhowa National Park. So this was in news. So therefore, it is in news. Okay. Now Dibru-Saikhowa National Park. Dibru-Saikhowa National Park, where it located? Assam. See, Debrigarh is in Odisha. Dibru is in Assam. So Debri is in Odisha. Dibru is in Assam. Fine. Should not. Please don't get confused. Now, semi-evergreen deciduous forest and white-winged wood duck, feral horse, tiger, elephant. They are important creatures that are found here. Now, Maguri Motapang wetland is a part of it. Now, see, this is important. Now, understand this particular thing. Maguri Motapang wetland, it is a part of it. Now, see, Maguri Motapang, it was in news because recently Mandarin duck was spotted here. Recently, Mandarin duck was spotted here after a century. So it has been spotted in the other parts, but here, after a gap of 100 years in this Maguri Motapang wetland, Mandarin duck was spotted. Now, Mandarin duck, its status is least concerned. On IUCN red list. And basically, guys, there were many articles also that came in the newspaper because This Mandarin duck, it is said as the world's most beautiful duck. It is said as world's most beautiful duck. Okay, so I'll just show you the photograph. Okay, so this it is referred to as the world's most beautiful duck, Mandarin duck, and it was in news. And after 100 years, it has been spotted in. After 100 years, it has been spotted here, Maguri Motapang. This wetland is a part of this Dibru-Saikhowa. Okay, status is least concerned. Status is least concerned. Fine. Okay, guys, I hope you understood it. I hope you understood it. Now, moving on in this particular direction. Moving on in this particular direction. Now, the next that we have here is Hollongapar Gibbon Sanctuary. Hollongapar Gibbon Sanctuary, also called as Gibbon Wildlife Sanctuary. Now, where it is located? It is located in Assam. Hollongapar Gibbon Sanctuary or Gibbon Wildlife Sanctuary. Where located? Located in Assam. Now, it was also in news because of the infrastructure development project. A railway line passed, it divided it in two parts. Now, this particular wildlife sanctuary, where it's located in Assam. And it is very important because of the two creatures that are found here. That is Western Hollongapar and Bengal slow loris. Now, Western Hollongapar, it is the only ape species. It is the only ape species of India. Only ape species of India. Western Hollongapar. And Bengal slow loris, it is the nocturnal primate. Nocturnal means the ones who are active during the night. Ones who are active during the night. The next, Bura Chapori Wildlife Sanctuary. Bura Chapori Wildlife Sanctuary. So Bura Chapori Wildlife Sanctuary, where located? It is located again in Assam, and also protected areas that are on the protected areas that are there on the banks of river. They are also very much important. Now, it is on the south bank of Brahmaputra River. It is on south bank of Brahmaputra River. Fine. And one-horned rhino, tiger, leopard, they are found here. Fine, important iconic species. Next, Shrivilli-Puthur Meghalai Tiger Reserve. Shrivilli-Puthur Meghalai Tiger Reserve. Now, this tiger reserve, this particular tiger reserve, it is made by merging the two earlier wildlife sanctuary. That is Shrivilli-Puthur Wildlife Sanctuary was there, and Meghalai Wildlife Sanctuary were there. Both of them got merged, and Shrivilli-Puthur Tiger Reserve was made. It is in Tamil Nadu, and guys, it is also the recent tiger reserve that got declared in India. So I told you right now we have 55 tiger reserves. So this was the 51st tiger reserve. It was the 51st tiger reserve. Okay, now other tiger reserves that we have are this. Fine, and Nilgiri Thar, it is found here. It is one of an iconic species here. Iconic species. Then next, Wild Ass Sanctuary. Wild Ass Sanctuary. Now, Wild Ass Sanctuary, it is in Gujarat and it was in news. Why? Because recently the salt pan workers, now you know this particular thing, guys, that in Gujarat and in Rajasthan, basically particularly Sambar Lake of Rajasthan, salt deposits are there, and in Gujarat also a lot of salt salt cultivation is done. So basically salt pan workers, they are referred to as agarias. Okay, in fact, this is important because many number of times on tribes and communities, UPSC has asked the question. If you have seen the previous year questions already, you might be knowing it. So let's say if a question comes that the agarias were in use, what they are? So agarias are the salt pan workers. They collect the salt and they are in Gujarat. Now this wild ass sanctuary, it is actually in the Gujarat. It is situated in Little Run of Kutch. So in Gujarat, Little Run of Kutch. In Little Run of Kutch, this wildlife sanctuary is located. Now, the salt pan workers, which are called as agarias, they were not allowed entry in this particular sanctuary. They were not allowed entry in this particular sanctuary. So therefore it was in use. Now multiple communities, they live around this particular wildlife sanctuary, that is Koli, Sandhi, Miana community. They live around the run of Kutch, Saurashtra region, around this wildlife sanctuary, and they are the salt pan workers. What they do? They cultivate, they just take out the salt, and from past 600-700 years they are doing it. Okay. Some also other communities they live here, that is Rabdi and Bharwad tribes. Rabdi and Bharwad tribe, they also live here. Now, why it is called as wildlife sanctuary? Because it is called as wildlife sanctuary because wild ass, that is a khachar, wild ass is found here. So wild ass, by the name of by the wild ass's name, this sanctuary gets its name, wild ass sanctuary. Now this wild ass, fine, here Indian wild ass is found. And what is its IUCN status? So it is IUCN status, please write guys. The IUCN status of wild ass is near threatened. IUCN status is near threatened. IUCN status is near threatened. Okay, IUCN status is near threatened, and largely it is found in the desert and grassland ecosystem. Now you know that Gujarat, little run of Kutch, it is a semi-arid area, and as it is semi-arid area, it will have the desert and grassland ecosystem, which supports wild ass population. Okay. Yes, guys. I hope you are able to understand. Okay. Now, Mahadai Wildlife Sanctuary. Mahadai Wildlife Sanctuary. Now, Mahadai Wildlife Sanctuary was also in news. Why? Because recently Bombay High Court has asked the Goa government. Now, by the way, it is in Goa. Asked the Goa government to declare it as a tiger reserve. For the conservation of tigers. So Mahadai Tiger Reserve was in, Mahadai Wildlife Sanctuary was in news because it should be declared as a tiger reserve. Now, already this information I have told you, the tiger reserves can be notified by state government, fine, under the Wildlife Protection Act on the advice of National Tiger Conservation Authority. Now, this particular sanctuary, that is Mahadai Wildlife Sanctuary, it also has long-billed vultures, okay, and basically guys, when we talk about the vulture population, so 9 iconic vultures that are found in India, I'm going to discuss them separately. There I discuss the long-billed vultures separately also. There I will discuss, don't worry. So long-billed vultures are found here, fine, tiger, barking deer, etc. Now this is important. Big four venomous snakes, big four venomous snakes, fine. Now big four, it is a classification that is given to Indian krat, Russell's viper, saw-scaled viper, and spectacled cobra. All of them are found here. Mahadai rivers, which is the lifeline of Goa, passes through this. Mahadai river, lifeline of Goa, it is passes through this. On Mahadai river, there is also controversy. I'll discuss that separately. Now, the highest peaks of Goa are not that important. Fine. So because of this, it was in news. Mahadai Wildlife Sanctuary. Okay, UPSC though has asked very broad questions also. They'll be giving you protected areas and might be asking the features of that area. So because of that, please be a little bit more careful. Bhoj wetland. Now Bhoj wetland, it is located in Madhya Pradesh, and it is a man-made, fine, basically it is recognized as the wetland of international importance under the Ramsar site. And Bhoj wetland, it is also, just a minute, Bhoj wetland, it is also the man-made wetland, man-made lake. Okay. Next, elephant corridors. So recently, government has notified 62 elephant corridors. Now, what are elephant corridors? Elephant corridors are the narrow strip of land that connects two of the elephant habitats or elephant reserves. Now, there are certain things that you should note down here, guys. That see this particular thing. On the lines of Project Tiger, we also have Project Elephant. We have Project Elephant. Project Elephant was started in 1992. Project Elephant was started in 1992. Now, initially, we had 32 elephant reserves. We had 32 elephant reserves. And basically, for many, many years, we were struck to 32 elephant reserves only. Just recently, we have got our 33rd elephant reserve. And Uttar Pradesh, Terai Elephant Reserve. Uttar Pradesh, Terai Elephant Reserve. This is the 33rd Elephant Reserve of India, which has been declared after the gap of many, many years. Okay. Now, two elephant reserves or two elephant habitats where elephant population is in significant number, they are to be connected with the help of elephant corridor. And recently, 62 new elephant corridors were notified. 62 elephant corridors were notified. And fine. Is it clear or not? Then Sundarbans was in news. Sundarbans was in news. Why? Because of the destruction or ecological damage that Sundarban is facing. Guys, if you remember, I told you that most of the mangroves in India, they are facing the ecological damages because of pollution, because of the diversion of the land. Sundarbans are also facing the damages. So Sundarbans, these are the world's largest mangrove forest, fine, which are spread across India and Bangladesh on the delta of Ganga, Brahmaputra, and Meghna River. And Sundarbans National Park also we have. We also have the Sundarbans designated as the UNESCO World Heritage Site. And we also have the Sundarbans designated as a Biosphere Reserve by the UNESCO. Okay. The next Mike program was in news. Now, Mike sites we need to see here, guys. Mike program was in news. Now, see, what is Mike? Mike stands for Monitoring of Illegal Killing of Elephant Program. Mike, it stands for Monitoring of Illegal Killing of Elephants. Monitoring of illegal killing of elephants. Now, see this thing. Basically, Mike program has been established by CITES resolution. CITES resolution. Fine. Now, one important thing is that, guys, that actually when we talk about CITES, first of all, what does the CITES stand for? What does the CITES stands for? So CITES stands for the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species of Wild Fauna and Flora. CITES. Convention on International Trade of Endangered Species. Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species of Wild Fauna and Flora. CITES. Now, CITES restricts exports of certain flora and fauna if their export will lead to decline in their population. Okay. Now, usually CITES will not issue the resolution for killing or for preservation of a specific species of animal, but under the CITES resolution of 1997, Mike program got started in India. Mike program got started in India. So this is actually peculiar. This is not very common. This is peculiar. This is not very much common. Now, there are the sites which has been chosen in India. There are the sites which have been chosen in India where Mike initiative will be implemented. These sites will specifically be monitored. Now, when we talk about the Mike sites in India, which sites are recognized as Mike sites in India? Chirang Ripu Elephant Reserve, Assam. So these sites, you just keep it in mind. Chirang Ripu Elephant Reserve, Diomali Elephant Reserve, Assam, Chirang Ripu, Assam, Diomali Elephant Reserve, Arunachal Pradesh, Dihing Patka Elephant Reserve, Assam, Garo Hill Elephant Reserve, Meghalaya. Eastern Duar Elephant Reserve, West Bengal. Mayurbhanj Elephant Reserve, Odisha. Shivalik Elephant Reserve, Uttarakhand. Mysore Elephant Reserve, Karnataka. Nilgiri Elephant Reserve, Tamil Nadu. And one more is there. Please write Wayanad. Wayanad Elephant Reserve, Kerala. Wayanad Elephant Reserve, Kerala. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So these 10 are the mic sites. Okay. So the mic sites were also in news. Mic program was actually in news. And because of that, mic sites that are in India, it becomes an important locations. You should be knowing about these mic sites, and you should also be knowing about these particular locations of these mic sites. Okay. Yes, guys. How many elephant reserves we have in India? Quickly write in the comment box. How many elephant reserves we have in India as of now? 32 or 33? Yes, yes, others, quickly, quickly. It will not take much time. And also now please write which is the latest elephant reserve that have been recognized in India. Latest. Write its name. Terai. Very good, very good. Yes, others also who haven't written, write, because see, if you'll write now, this will become a permanent memory. Okay, okay, one more question, last question I will ask. Which is the latest tiger reserve? Which is the latest tiger reserve of India? Which is the latest tiger reserve of India? Yes. Latest tiger reserve. Dholpur Karoli in Rajasthan. Then Asola Bhati Wildlife Sanctuary was in news. Why? Because there was an event that was organized, that is Walk with Wildlife. In this event, a lot of people came, a lot of activities were done, which actually goes against the provision of the Wildlife Protection Act. And because of this particular thing, notice was sent. Because of this, notice was sent by the Delhi High Court. It raised actually the concerns. So Asola Bhati Wildlife Sanctuary, where it is located? It is located in Haryana. It is located in Haryana. Fine. Then Valmiki Tiger Reserve. Valmiki Tiger Reserve located in Bihar. Located in Bihar. Okay. And it is situated on the Gangetic plains. Fine. Rivers also I have mentioned: Gandak, Pandai, Manor, Harha, Masan River. Then Pong Wildlife Sanctuary. Pong Dam Wildlife Sanctuary. Pong Dam Wildlife Sanctuary. Where it is located? Located in Himachal Pradesh. Located in Himachal Pradesh. Okay. Around the Pong Dam Lake, which is a man-made reservoir. Man-made reservoir. Okay. Also declared as a Ramsar site. Also declared as a Ramsar site. Fine. Then Dandeli Forest. Dandeli Forest. So Dandeli Forest, where it is located? Karnataka. It was in news with respect to because of the environmental degradation that was there was alarm that was raised with respect to environmental degradation going around the Dandeli Forest. Where it is located? Karnataka. Karnataka. Fine. And it faces substantial environmental damage. It is facing the threats of climate change. Part of Western Ghat. And Kali Tiger Reserve. Fine, it is adjacent to it. Kali Tiger Reserve is adjacent to it. Okay, guys, is it clear or not? Fine. So these are the protected sites, protected areas that we had in news. A lot of related information also we have seen. Okay. Now, guys, just one thing is that I am giving you 2 minutes of time, not a break. Please go through all these particular protected areas. Please go through that, and also ensure that you are able to understand all of the related information or the important information that we have discussed. Fine. And then we'll be moving to the next one, that is species in news. Species in news. So just take 2 minutes of time and please go through all the protected areas. I might ask 2-3 oral questions to you also. Okay, guys. Clear? Any doubt? If you have, you may please ask. Okay. Quickly, let's take certain questions so that few questions I'm going to ask you so that you are confident that you are retaining the information. Okay. Mukurthi National Park, which state? Please write fast. Mukurthi National Park, which state? Okay, full form, short form, half form, fine, whatever you want, you can write. Tamil Nadu. Mukurthi National Park is in Tamil Nadu. Now, tell me protected areas which are the part of biosphere reserves in state of Karnataka. Protected areas that are the part of biosphere reserve, Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve, sorry, my apologies. Protected areas which are the part of Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve in Karnataka. Okay. Chalo. Good, 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 good. Nice, nice, nice. Okay. Similipal Tiger Reserve was in news because it has white, because it posted the armed personnel to protect the white tigers that are found there. True or false? T or F? True or false? T or F? T or F? False. Not white tiger, melanistic tiger. Similipal Tiger Reserve is in West Bengal. T or F? False. It is in Odisha. Okay. Odisha. Fine. Okay. Also one more. Australia is a tiger range country. True or false? True or false? False. Okay. Fine. Moving on, moving on, moving on. Fine. Hollongapar Gibbon Sanctuary, which was in news, is situated in Arunachal Pradesh. True or false? True or false? T or F? False. It is situated in Assam. Okay. Angarias were recently in news. They are located in Haryana and are involved in the salt mining. True or false? False. They are in Gujarat. Mahadai Wildlife Sanctuary was in recently news. It is an important sanctuary in Maharashtra. True or false? False. Goa. We have 33 tiger reserves. True or false? False. 33 elephant reserves. Okay. Dandeli Wildlife Forest in news is in Andhra Pradesh. True or false? Very good. Very good. Moving on. Moving on. So very good. So I can see that most of the things you are able to retain. Now, species in news. Species in news. Now the species in news and protected areas, obviously they'll go hand in hand. Why? Because any species that we talk about will obviously be available in certain area, certain region, certain wildlife sanctuary, national park, or some state. So basically this will overlap with each other also. Now, white sambar was in news. White sambar, also called as leucistic sambar. Now, for the first time, white sambar was observed in Sangama range of Kaveri Wildlife Sanctuary, Karnataka. Now, one thing is that it is not first time that it is found in Karnataka. Karnataka earlier also leucistic sambar has been found, but in Kaveri Wildlife Sanctuary of Karnataka, Sangama range, for the first time leucistic sambar is found. Now, few things, guys, you need to note it down. Please write here. There are three things that we have. Please note it down along with me. There is leucism, albinism, and melaninism. Melaninism. Okay. Fine. There is leucism, albinism, and melanism. Now, what is leucism? First of all, what is Just a minute. Yes. First of all, guys, we'll be starting with melanism because you already know this. So melanism is a genetic condition in which any creature or any animal will produce excessive melanin. And because of excessive melanin production, they will have a darker patches, or there will be have a dark color fur, dark color coat, melanism. Now, opposite of melanism is albinism. It is opposite. Now, what happened in albinism? In albinism, any animal or any creature, they will produce no melanin. They will not produce melanin. No melanin. Because they don't produce melanin, fine. They will have a very what you say, their skin tone will be very pale, very well yellowish, palish, pinkish, no melanin. Fine. Sometimes certain people also have this condition, albinism. They don't produce any melanin. So melanism, excessive production of melanin. Albinism, opposite of melanism, no melanin. And then there is leucism. Now, what is leucism? Leucism is the partial loss of pigments. It is the partial loss of pigments. Now, see, melanin is one of a pigment. Apart from melanin, we have some other pigments also which give color to our hair, which give color to our eyes. Okay, somebody's eyes are green, somebody's eyes are blue, somebody's eyes are black, brown. Many colors are there. So there are many different pigments also which give color to the different parts of our body. Now, in leucism, there will be the partial loss of pigments, and because of that, they will have the patchy skin. They will have a patchy skin, discolored. Discoloration will be there. Okay, so discoloration will be there. Okay, so we have seen three: melanism, excessive melanin. We have seen albinism, no melanin, and then we have seen leucism. Leucism refers to the partial loss of pigments due to which discoloration or patchy skin or patchy fur, patchy undercoat will be, patchy coat of an animal will be there. So what we have found? We have found this white sambar. Now this white sambar, it is not albinistic sambar. You need to understand this thing. This is not albinism. Fine. So for example, UPSC might ask a question that recently white sambar was in news. It suffers with the condition of melanism, leucism, albinism, and one more option they might give. So you need to understand that it is because of leucism. Okay. So it has been observed where? Kaveri Wildlife Sanctuary. It is situated where? It is situated in Karnataka. And Kaveri River forms the boundary of this particular sanctuary. On the boundary, from the boundary, Kaveri River flows. Now, IUCN status of sambar is vulnerable. Okay, one more thing you need to understand, that this is not some unique species, normal sambar, but just it got discolored because of this leucism. Okay, now as we are talking about the Kaveri River, one important thing is that, see, please write, there is a humpbacked masir. Fine, there is humpbacked masir. Humpbacked masir. Okay, so humpbacked masir is a freshwater fish. It is found in Kaveri River Basin. It is found in Kaveri Basin. Fine, it is found in Kaveri Basin, and this is called this fish. It is called as a tiger of water. And it has a on IUCN red list. Its status is critically endangered. So for this also, Kaveri River, Kaveri Basin is important. Okay, so Kaveri River Basin, Fine. Here, humpbacked mahseer is also found, which is a freshwater fish, and its status is critically injured, called as the tiger of water. Tiger of water. Yes, guys, is it clear or not? Clear, everyone? Fine, moving on. Okay, one thing I just want to tell you, that Kaveri Wildlife Sanctuary, where it is located, Karnataka. Okay, flora, again, I am saying this thing earlier also, I have said the same thing, that see, don't spend too much of time in just mugging up or remembering which type of trees are found. Just on the basis of your understanding of vegetation type found in a particular area, on the basis of the rainfall and temperature that we have, you try to derive it out on that logic. No need to remember, but I have given you, if you want to for the reference, I have given you here. Also, one more thing is that, guys, that when we talk about the fauna, na, you are not actually required to remember every animal that is found. Why? Because there are actually thousands of creatures, species that we have. It is humanly not possible, and secondly, even UPSC does not ask the question on this. Fine. Some iconic species, iconic animals, on that they ask a question, and that iconic species we will cover here. So every species, every creature, every animal, it is not important. No need to go too much in that detail. Okay. Then leopard was in news because of the leopard sterilization program that got started in Maharashtra. Leopard sterilization program that got started in Maharashtra. Now understand this thing. Basically, guys, when we talk about the leopard is the smallest of big cat. It is the smallest big cat. Smallest big cat. Now, when we talk about big cat, basically, who are included in big cat category? So, tiger, lion, jaguar, leopard, snow leopard. All of them are included in big cat category. Tiger, lion, jaguar, leopard, and snow leopard, they are included in the big cat category. And in the big cat, leopard is the smallest big cat. Leopard is the smallest big cat. Leopard is the smallest big cat. Now, status of leopard, status of leopard is fine. Status of leopard is vulnerable on IUCN red list. Vulnerable on IUCN red list. It is a nocturnal animal. What is the meaning of nocturnal animal? Now see. Three types of animal: nocturnal, diurnal, and crepuscular. Active during night, hunting, and most of the activities they'll do in night. Diurnal, they are active during day. And crepuscular, they are active during diffuse light, dawn and dusk. Just before the sun rises and just after the sun sets, they will be active. Fine. They will be active during diffused light. During around twilight, dawn and dusk. Fine. Dawn, that is the period just before the sun rises. Okay. Dusk, just after the sun rises, that diffuse light, they'll be active, crepuscular. Now, when we talk about leopards are nocturnal. Okay. And melanism is also very common. Melanism is also very much common. And basically, who are the Black Panthers? You might have heard about the Black Panthers. So Black Panthers are no one but the melanistic leopards. They are called as Black Panthers. So melanism is very common. Their status on IUCN red list is they are vulnerable. Okay. And largest population of leopard is in Madhya Pradesh. Largest population of leopard is in which state? It is in Madhya Pradesh. Largest population is in Madhya Pradesh. Okay. Fine. Then we have rhinos, because State of Rhino 2023 report was released by International Rhino Foundation. State of Rhino report 2023 released by International Rhino Foundation. So therefore, rhinos are in news. Now, when we talk about rhinos, guys, one very important thing is that, first of all, in India, we have greater one horn rhino that is found. Greater one horn rhino is the most heaviest rhino that is there, most heaviest, and one of the biggest and heaviest rhino is this greater one horn rhino that we have. Now, majorly, how many varieties of rhinos are there? Majorly, how many varieties of rhinos are there? I have given you here. Also in the photo we have. So greater one horn rhino, it is found in India. Its status is vulnerable. Its status is vulnerable. Then Javan rhino, found on the island of Java, critically endangered. Sumatran rhino, again critically endangered. Okay. Now, the third is white rhino and black rhino. White rhino, the third and fourth are white rhino and black rhino. Both are found in Africa. Both are found in Africa. Now, white rhino, guys, here, if you see the status of white rhino, it is near threatened. White rhino found in Africa, status is near threatened. Now, see, within white rhino, there are two subcategories of white rhino. Northern white rhino. Northern white rhino. And then the second one is a southern white rhino. Southern white rhino. Now, basically, northern white rhino, it is functionally extinct. It is functionally extinct. See this particular thing, that only two of these northern white rhinos, they are alive, and both are in the Kenya. Both are in Kenya. Both are in Kenya, both are female, both are of same gender. Because both are of same gender, means they cannot reproduce and can have offsprings. Okay. And because of this species is now not extinct. Extinct means that when all the creatures will die, but two are remaining, but both are of same gender. So in next few years, it will go extinct anyhow. It will go extinct anyhow. So therefore, within the white rhino, northern white rhino, it is functionally extinct. Only two of these members, they are alive, and they are right now in Kenya. They are right now in Kenya. So therefore, it is declared as functionally extinct. But southern white rhino, there are a large population of southern white rhino. Okay. Then there is black rhino. Black rhino is critically endangered. Greater one horn already we have discussed, so we'll strike it off from here. Black rhino. So, greater one horn rhino of India, vulnerable. Javan rhino, critically endangered. Sumatran rhino, critically endangered. White rhino of Africa, near threatened. White rhino of Africa, near threatened. And black rhino of Africa, critically endangered. Now, this white rhino is actually, guys, not white in color. Fine, if you are thinking it's not white, it's actually grayish in color. So it is lighter than the black. So therefore, it is referred to as white. Not actually, it is white rhino. Okay. Now, when we talk about the one horn rhino in India, so in India, we have greater one horn rhino. It is the largest rhino species. And it is distinct. It has that single horn that you have. And because of that particular single horn, it is hunted also because of that particular horn that they have. Why? Because that horn, it has a lot of usage in Chinese medication. And it is very much valuable in Chinese medication. And for that, these rhinos, one horn rhinos, are hunted in large numbers. Okay. Now, they primarily graze on grasses, leaves, shrubs, etc. Now see, two things when we talk about the greater one horn rhinos population. Kaziranga National Park. 90% of one horn rhinos are in the Kaziranga National Park. Now see this thing, two things. If a question comes that the largest population of one horn rhino is where, it is in Kaziranga. But when we talk about the highest concentration or highest density of one rhino, then it is in the Pobitora Wildlife Sanctuary. Pobitora Wildlife Sanctuary. Kaziranga, highest population, highest absolute population, highest absolute population. Pobitora Wildlife Sanctuary, it has highest density. Highest density. Okay. Guys, is this thing clear? If anybody having any doubt in this, please ask. Yes, is this point clear to everyone that what I'm saying? Please don't get confused. Again, I'll explain if there's any doubt. Highest population in numbers. In numbers, the highest population is in Kaziranga National Park. But density wise means population divided by area. Population divided by area. Highest density where we have, highest density that we have, it is in Pobitora Wildlife Sanctuary. Now, apart from Kaziranga and Pobitora, Orang National Park, Manas National Park in Assam, Jaldapara, Goromora in West Bengal, Dudhwa in Uttar Pradesh, there also the Kaziranga, one horn rhino is found. Here is also one horn rhino is found. Fine. Now, India has also signed the New Delhi Declaration on Asian Rhino. So also there is New Delhi Declaration on Asian Rhino 2019, National Rhino Conservation Strategy 2019, and Indian Rhino Vision 2020. All of them focus on the conservation of rhinos. Now, New Delhi Declaration on Asian Rhino has also been signed by India, Bhutan, Nepal, Indonesia, and Malaysia. China is not there because China is the one which are actually hunting a lot of rhinos because of their one horn rhino. And obviously, on record, they'll not say, but just to tell you. Okay, guys. Finally, fine. Is it clear to everyone? Now, moving to the next one. Tasmanian tiger, Tasmanian wolf. Now you see this particular creature, this particular animal is very mischievous, very naughty. See, it is called as a tiger, but it is called as a tiger and a wolf, but it looks like a dog. You see, why it is called as a Tasmanian tiger? It is because of the stripes that it has. Because of the stripes that it has on its body, it is referred to as Tasmanian tiger. But physically, it appears more like a wolf and a dog. So therefore, it is also called as Tasmanian wolf. Tasmanian wolf. Okay. Now, when we talk about this Tasmanian tiger or Tasmanian wolf, so it was in news because now it is being considered as extinct. Now it is being considered as extinct. First of all, why it is called as a Tasmanian tiger or Tasmanian wolf? You see here we have Australia. Okay. Here we have Australia. Now, here there is Tasman Sea. Now here we have Australia. There is a Tasmania. Here there is Tasmania. So it is found. It was found here in Tasmania. So from here, this name Tasmanian tiger or Tasmanian wolf comes. One additional point, guys. Listen very carefully. That when we talk about Australia, and Tasmania, here there are certain unique creatures that are found, which are not found anywhere in the world, including marsupials. By the way, question already has been asked in UPSC on marsupials just I think last year or last year. Fine, question on marsupial has already been asked. Okay, now one thing just I want to explain you here is that okay, I'll come on marsupial in just 1 minute. So basically, Tasmanian tiger or Tasmanian wolf, it gets its name from the Tasmania, which is located to south of Australia, where it was found. Now it bears resemblance with the dog, fine, and also has the dark stripes, due to which it is called as the Tasmanian tiger. Okay. Now it was confined to Tasmania. Earlier, it has already been disappeared from Australia 2000 years back. But now even in Tasmania, it is not being found. So therefore, it is being believed that it might have got extinct. It might have got extinct. Okay, and it also faces now. It has been hunted by humans. Fine, and it also faces a competition with the dingo, which is a wild variety of dog, wild dog variety. Now, what is this meaning that it faces a competition with the dingo? So basically, when two creatures are in competition, it means that their prey base is same, area where they live, they are same. So if they will compete, if their area is same, if they are preying on the same kind of a creature, then one of them will be over the years wiped out the one which is weaker. So it has faced competition with the dingo, which is a wild dog, and it has also been hunted. So therefore, it is being believed that it is now extinct. Now Tasmania, it has Tasmanian devil. Now Tasmanian devil, it is referred to, it is the world's largest carnivorous marsupial. Tasmanian tiger. Now Tasmanian tiger is already extinct. Tasmanian tiger is already extinct. So basically, these are very unique creatures. Now marsupials. Marsupials. Now see, mammals. Mammals are of three types. Placental mammals, marsupials, and monotremes. Now, humans are placental mammals. Humans are placental mammals. Now, who are the placental mammals? So basically, placental mammals are the one which, now see this thing, that when a woman has a child in her womb, how that child get nourishment? That child gets nourishment through the placenta. So, okay. So placenta is a kind of what you say, it is a part of a body which grows with a child, and that placenta gives nourishment to that child, placenta. So humans are placental mammals. Then marsupials are another type of mammals where they will give birth to a relatively underdeveloped offspring, and they will have a kind of a pouch attached with their body. So that particular young one will grow in that pouch after it has been delivered out from the body. Marsupials. Fine. There are the marsupials. And then monotremes are egg-laying mammals. Monotremes are those mammals which lay egg. Now, basically, basic understanding when we read about mammals is that the mammals give birth to young one, but there is a specific type of mammal, that is a platypus. Okay, they have all the features of mammal, but they, rather than giving birth to young one, they lay eggs. They are called as monotremes, egg-laying mammals. So marsupials are a unique type of mammals that are found around Australia and Tasmania only. Okay. So on marsupial, the question was also there. If you just have known this, if you had just known this, you would have been able to mark that answer. Okay. One thing is that I am not taking here right now the important location with respect to Australia, because in places in news, I am going to take it separately. Don't worry. Then Pitri Gottrigla. Now, no need to remember Pitri Gottrigla if it is very important. If it is very difficult, it is scientific name. Fine. They are also called as sea gurnards, or the gurnards, or sea robin. Sea robins. This fish in common, basically commonly, it is also called as the sea robin or sea gurnards. So recently what happened? So basically, sea gurnard, sea robin, or Petrogotrigla, it was discovered around West Bengal. Now this discovery was done by the Zoological Survey of India. Now this particular fish, it is distinct because of its pectoral fin. So if you see, it has a fin on its back, and also it has the black color, these black color membranes. Okay. Now Zoological Survey of India, its aim is to promote the survey and exploration of fauna in India, and it operates under the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. One important thing is that Zoological Survey of India headquarters is not in Delhi. Headquarter is in Kolkata. Headquarter is not in Delhi. Headquarter is in Kolkata Zoological Survey of India. So it has discovered or found the Petrigotroglia around West Bengal. Then Conocarpus plants. Conocarpus plant. So Gujarat recently has banned this Conocarpus plant. Earlier Telangana banned Conocarpus. Now Gujarat has banned Conocarpus. It is a variety of mangrove shrub. It is a variety of mangrove shrub which is native to South America. Which was native to South America. It got introduced in India, and now this Conocarpus, it has been declared as invasive species. It is declared as invasive species. Invasive species. Now, basically, guys, invasive species are the ones. Invasive species are the one which are not native to that particular area. They have been brought from some other country, and they grow very rapidly, and they become a danger, they become a threat to the native species of flora and fauna. We refer to those species as invasive species. We have invasive species of plant also, and we have invasive species of animal also. Fine. Now, I have just one very basic question from you. One very basic question from you, that why these invasive species, they grow very fast? Why these invasive species, they proliferate very fast? And I'm telling you that explanation is very simple and logical. Very simple and logical, not hi-fi explanation. Anyone, if you can tell, you can just unmute yourself and can tell that why these invasive species, they grow there very rapidly. Tropical climate, no dear, high rate of adaptation. How? Why? Now see, why they will have high rate of adaptation? Okay, let me tell you. Answer is very simple. See this thing. Basically, nature has a very clever design. Nature, there will be a species, and then there will be the predator of that particular species, which will keep a check on the population of that species. Okay, they will have a predator. Fine. Now see this particular thing, that basically all the flora and fauna, let's say that we have in India, let's talk about the plants only. They have pests, they have pathogens which actually limit their population. But when we bring some foreign species of plant in India, they don't have the pest, or they don't have their predators. They don't have the pathogens which impact them. Because of that, they will grow very rapidly. So invasive species, why they grow very rapidly? Because they don't have their natural predators or pests, or if they have, they are very less in number. Okay. So because of that, they grow very fast. And funny thing is that, guys, for mains examination, please keep it in your mind. Funny thing is that, see, they grow very fast. And because they grow very fast, government uses them in the landscaping projects, in greening projects. So government often, what they are doing, they are growing trees on the highways, all such kind of a thing. So what they do, because they don't need that much care, they grow very fast. These are used. So it has become a vicious cycle. Fine, it has become a vicious cycle. Okay. Now, Conocarpus is one of an invasive species. Earlier, Telangana banned. Invasive species means it is non-indigenous. From where it has been, it is native to South America, and it is a fast-growing mangrove shrub. It is a fast-growing mangrove shrub. I told you that mangroves are a special type of forest that grow at intertidal area. Intertidal area. Okay. They have small winter flowers which produce also pollen, and these pollen, they also cause health issue, cough, asthma, allergies. Asthma, allergies. Okay. Asthma, allergy. Now, guys, there are some other species, and very good to all of you who have written. This is very good, and I highly appreciate when you are answering. Now, one very important thing is that, yes.
One question, sir. Sir, this plant is a mangrove species. So, sir, we use them as a mangrove now because, sir, if sir, 1 minute, sir. Actually, sir, those ये जो ट्रीज जो है ना सर, प्लांट्स जो लोग हैं, तो इनका पेस्ट नहीं है, सब ठीक है, पर ये लोग ये सब प्लांट्स तो एनवायरमेंट प्रोटेक्शन के लिए भी यूज हो सकते हैं. मतलब अगर ग्रो हो रहे हैं तो सर, अगर इनको बैन कर दिया जाए तो बहुत ज्यादा जो फास्ट ग्रोइंग हो रहे हैं इन्वायरमेंट के लिए, तो वो प्लांट भी जरूरत होती है जो ग्रीन ज्यादा जरूरत होती है, ताकि जो कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड है वो अदर्स जो सब्सटेंस है वो एब्जॉर्ब कर सके। तो इसको क्यों सर बैन क्यों कर रहे हैं? ये तो
Yes,
अच्छा है ना, इकोनॉमिकली तो ये तो अच्छा है ना।
yes dear, देखो your question is very good and देखो, yes, on one hand they are plant only. As they are plant, they are good because they will help in carbon sequestration. That is good. But we need to balance. We understand this particular thing, that we also need to ensure that the native species of plants that we have, they should not also get wiped out. A balance has to be maintained. You see this particular thing. For example, I'll give you example. There is a eucalyptus tree. Now, a lot of eucalyptus tree you will find particularly North India, they have a distinct white color trunk. Okay, but every eucalyptus tree, it stores 500 to 700 liter of water in its trunk. It is very much bad for the groundwater, but it is leading to greening, it is leading to carbon sequestration, but it is taking out the water. Now, things are not that simple. Things are not that simple. Yes, they will help in carbon sequestration, that is good. But at the same time, if they will grow too much, what will happen? Native species of plants that they are there, they will be lost. And every species of plant, every species of tree, it give its own distinct ecological services. They give their own distinct ecological services. So just for the sake of carbon sequestration, other ecological services that are being given by the other species, that cannot be ignored. Moreover, that what will happen? One day they will wipe out the native species. Now, native species also, they do carbon sequestration. Clear? So balance has to be made. Balance has to be made. You getting it or not? For example, you see this particular thing, that a type of a government is there. Let's say, let's say there is a authoritarianism. Let's say there is a dictatorship. In dictatorship, decision making is always fast. This is a criticism of democracy, that in democracy, decision making is slow. In dictatorship, democracy is decision making is fast. But still, dictatorship is not desirable, though that is efficient. So efficiency is not always the criteria on which we can prioritize everything. Fine. I hope, dear, you got that point. Fine. This is
Yes.
good, but we also need to conserve the native species of flora and fauna. That is also important because they give their distinct ecological services, which they will not be able to give.
तो सर ये जो प्लांट को अगर जहाँ पर डेजर्टिफिकेशन ज्यादा हो रहे हैं और जहाँ पर प्लांट ज्यादा लॉस हो रहे हैं, तो ये सब जगह पर यूज हो जाए तो बहुत अच्छा हो सकता है ना।
हाँ, यूज करते ही हैं एवर ग्रीनिंग के लिए सॉरी, इसको यूज करते ही हैं। बट पॉइंट इज दैट के देखो, ऐसा नहीं होगा कि वहां पे कोई भी प्लांट नहीं है और सिर्फ ये प्लांट ग्रो हो जाएगा। ठीक है, बिकॉज मतलब देखो, हर मतलब अंडरस्टैंड दिस थिंग, दैट दीज प्लांट्स दे ग्रो वेरी फास्ट, बट दे आल्सो नीड अ टेम्परेचर रेंज, दे आल्सो नीड वाटर। इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि दैट दे आर द वंस के जो कहीं पे भी ग्रो हो जाएंगे। ठीक है, तो हाँ, अगर ऐसा है कि कुछ भी नहीं ग्रो हो सकता और सिर्फ यही ग्रो सकते हैं, तो कर सकते हैं, बिकॉज फिर तो कोई कंपटीशन ही नहीं है ना जिससे हमको डरना है।
जी सर, क्लियर सर।
Okay, moving on. Moving on. Okay. Invasive alien species. Okay. One more thing is that, guys, who declares a species as invasive species? Please लिख लीजिए इसको, National Biodiversity Authority. National Biodiversity Authority gives the status of invasive species. National Biodiversity Authority is responsible to give the status of invasive species. Okay, moving on. Then next is pangolin. Pangolin. Okay, so recently pangolin was in news. By the way, pangolin have been in news for a long period of time, multiple reasons. One reason is the COVID pandemic. Because now, first of all, up till now, we have not ascertained 100% with 100% surety that from where the COVID virus's origin happened. Though this is sure, it was a zoonotic virus. Zoonotic virus means that it got originated in some wild creature. But which wild creature, we don't have complete 100% explanation with surety. But it is believed that SARS-CoV-2 originated from pangolin. It passed to bat, and from there it passed to human. Now, pangolins, they have a unique feature. They have a unique feature which is called as volvation. They have a unique feature called as volvation. Volvation. What does volvation means? It means that they will turn like a ball when a predator comes and a predator wants to eat them or something. They will turn in a ball so that the predator cannot. Now see, they have this particular scales. They are made up of keratin. They have these scales. They are made up of keratin, and they roll in a ball so that an animal cannot harm them. This feature is called as volvation. Now, recently, there was a pangolin species Manis mysteria that was found. Now, let me explain you this particular thing in very easy words. Guys, up till now, in the world, we have 8 species of pangolin. Up till now, we have right now, we have 8 species of pangolin in the world. Now, how you identify that this pangolin is different, this pangolin is different, this pangolin is different? We understand that they belong to a different species by seeing the pattern of their scales. By seeing the pattern of their scales. Okay. So, these are the scales. So, the design, pattern, size, texture of these scales will be different, and by that we find that okay, there are the 8 different type of species of pangolin that we have. Now recently, guys, in one of our market of China, there was a type of scales of pangolin that were found. There were a type of scales of pangolin that were found which did not matched with the existing 8 species that we have. Means a different type of scales they were found in one of a market. Okay, so by that, researchers had said that okay, there might be one more species of pangolin that is there, but we don't have too much of information about that species right now. Therefore, its name right now is being given is Manis mysteria. Mysteria means a mystery. Mysteria means a mystery. So right now, where they are, what is their exact physiology, how they are different with others, we don't have much of information. It is a mystery. Therefore, they are called as Manis mysteria. Mysteria means mystery. So there might be a 9th species of pangolin. Researchers have concluded that. Now, pangolins, when we talk about it, they are nocturnal. Nocturnal means they are active during the night, and they are mammals. They will dig burrows, right? Under the ground, they will dig burrows and will be living on them. They will feed on ants and termites. Now, pangolins, they have been declared as one of the most hunted and one of the most threatened species. Why? Why? Because you see this particular thing, guys, that these scales, they are made up of keratin. They are made up of keratin. And keratin has a lot of demand. It has a lot of usage in hair industry. So many of you might have heard about the keratin treatment that people take to improve the quality of their hair. Many shampoos, they have keratin in them. So keratin has a high demand. It is a product that is used in the beauty industry. It is used in the hair products, and for that keratin, they are hunted, they are killed. Okay. Now, one thing is that they play a role in aerating and adding moisture to the soil. How they aerate means making a soil wet. How they aerate or how they add moisture to the soil, they don't bring water from outside and will add. Simply as they are digging, what is happening? They bring the moist soil that is underground on the top. By that, they add moisture to the soil. Okay, so they can roll into the ball to protect themselves. This is called as volvation. Volvation. Now, I told you that we have 8 types of pangolins. 8 types of pangolins. They are the most trafficked mammals in the world. Fine. We have 8 types of pangolins. Now 4 are found in Africa. 4 pangolins, 4 types are found in Africa and 4 are in Asia. 4 in Africa, 4 in Asia. Now Africa, we have black-bellied pangolin, white-bellied pangolin, giant ground pangolin and Temix ground pangolin. Now in Asia, we have Indian pangolin, Philippine pangolin, Sunda pangolin, Chinese pangolin. Now, all these 8 pangolins status is not important. Pangolins that are found in India, their status is important. Now, when we talk about India, in India, we have both. In India, we find Indian pangolin and in India, we find Chinese pangolin. In India, we find Indian pangolin as well as Chinese pangolin. Okay, so now in India, we have pangolin in Bihar, West Bengal, Assam. Now, Assam, we have both Indian as well as Chinese pangolin. Now, status of Indian pangolin is endangered. And Chinese pangolin status is critically endangered. Now, no doubt, no wonder in this. Fine. So, Chinese pangolin status is critically endangered. Chinese pangolin status is critically endangered. Indian pangolin status is endangered. Okay. Wildlife Protection Act Schedule 1, Sites Appendix 1. Schedule 1. Now, one thing, guys, that Wildlife Protection Act Schedule 1, if any species in Schedule 1, they enjoy the highest protection. They enjoy highest protection. So, flagship species, iconic species such as a tiger, etc., you will find them in Schedule 1, highest protection. Any species that is in the Schedule 1, they cannot be hunted, they cannot be killed, they cannot be declared as vermin. They cannot be declared as vermin. What is a vermin? So any species can be declared as a vermin if they become a nuisance to agriculture or humans, and then they can be hunted freely by the common people also. Vermin. So they cannot be declared as vermin. Species that are there in the Schedule 1, they can only be killed. They can only be killed if they have become diseased beyond treatment. If they have become diseased beyond treatment. Okay. Then Great Indian Bustard. Great Indian Bustard. Now, here I have mentioned one of a context for which Great Indian Bustard was in use, but beyond that also Great Indian Bustard have been used in for multiple reasons. Number one, Great Indian Bustard was in use because of the cyclone Biparjoy in Gujarat, which raised the concerns about the Great Indian Bustards in the Nalia region of Gujarat. One more thing is that, guys, recently, if you have, if you are following the newspaper, you might have seen in the news recently, there was one issue that Supreme Court has constituted an expert committee with respect to conservation of Great Indian Bustard. If you guys remember, recently there was this issue also that came in news that Supreme Court said that right to get protected against the climate change, it is a fundamental right. Why Supreme Court said that? Supreme Court said that in the context of Great Indian Bustard. Supreme Court said that in the case of Great Indian Bustard. Now, basically, when we talk about Great Indian Bustards, see, what is this issue of Great Indian Bustards? First of all, 90% of Great Indian Bustards, they live in Rajasthan. Now, these Great Indian Bustards, they have poor frontal vision. Their eyesight's frontal vision is very poor. And now you see that in Rajasthan, what we are doing, we are deploying solar parks. We are deploying solar parks. Now, for transmission of electricity transmission wires are being deployed. Electricity transmission wires are being deployed. Now, these Great Indian Bustards, they get trapped in these particular wires and then they get electrocuted. They die because of shock. They get trapped in these wires and they get electrocuted. They're trapped in these wires and they get electrocuted. Okay. I hope it is clear. Now, point is that, see, on one hand, deploying solar power is important. We need to build the solar parks, but at the same time, conservation of Great Indian Bustard is also important. So Supreme Court said that a person wants to get protected against climate change, so they want solar power, they want renewable energy. It is a fundamental right. But okay, yes, we also need to protect the Great Indian Bustard. So how to go with that? So it was in news. So when we talk about Great Indian Bustards, 90% of them are in Rajasthan, few of them are found in Gujarat, and very less few individuals are also found in certain parts of Madhya Pradesh, even Andhra Pradesh. But majority of them are in Rajasthan, 90% in Rajasthan, and then few in Gujarat. Great Indian Bustard also has one more problem, that some of them unknowingly go to Pakistan, and in Pakistan they are hunted for their meat. So for that also they face a problem. So in Nalia region of Gujarat, only 4 Great Indian Bustards are remaining. Now, Great Indian Bustard, state bird of Rajasthan. Great Indian Bustard, state bird of Rajasthan. Flagship grassland species. Okay, it is an indicator species. Indicator species means any species which indicates the health of an ecosystem. Means if that species is there in good numbers, means that entire ecosystem is in good health. For example, Gangetic dolphin. If number of, now see, what is the marker that the health of the river is good? Marker is, if the health of a river is good, more Gangetic dolphins will be found. So indicator species indicates the health of an ecosystem. So if the health of an ecosystem of grassland is good, then there will be more Great Indian Bustards. It is a flagship grassland as well as indicator species. Where it is found? Rajasthan, Gujarat, certain parts of Maharashtra, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh. Threats: collision, electrocution, hunting, habitat loss. Now, what is IUCN status? Critically endangered. Critically endangered. CITES Appendix 1 means their export is restricted. Wildlife Protection Act Schedule 1, they cannot be hunted, cannot be killed. Now, fine, this is about the Great Indian Bustard. A few points about the Great Indian Bustard also, please write. Please write. Please write. Rajasthan Government and Wildlife Institute of India, WII. Rajasthan Government and Wildlife Institute of India, WII, had also established conservation and breeding facility. Has also established conservation and breeding facility. Conservation and breeding facility. Conservation and breeding facility for GIB, Great Indian Bustard. For GIB, Great Indian Bustard. At Desert National Park. At Desert National Park, Jaisalmer. Fine. Fine. Yes, guys. A lot of topics we have covered till now. Just I want your 2 seconds. Please reply this thing. Are you able to understand, yes or no? Is there any doubt? Is there any question? Because a lot of information in the notes, apart from that, we have discussed. So just I want your answer, yes, no, any doubt, any confusion. If you have, please respond. Yes, guys, clear to everyone? Yes, students, please respond. Is it clear to everyone? Fine. Saloni, Sangeeta, Saptarshi, Preeti, Anuradha, Debraya, Megha. Okay, very good. Fine. Now, moving on to the next one, we have here Asiatic lion. Asiatic lion. It was in news. Now, first of all, when we talk about lions, one thing you should be knowing about the lions. Lions have a peculiar physiological feature which is called as a sexual dimorphism. Sexual dimorphism. Now, what is sexual dimorphism? Sexual dimorphism is a physiological quality of a species where the male and female will appear different. If you see Asiatic lion, male lion, they will have this particular fur around their head, around their neck. They will have this particular special type of a fur. But female lions, they don't have this particular fur. They don't have this particular fur. Similarly, if you see peacock and peahen, peacocks, they look different. Peahen, they look different. Okay, peacocks, they have vibrant wing feathers and all that. Peahens, they don't have. So many species, male look different, female look different. They don't look same. That is sexual dimorphism. That is sexual dimorphism. And lions, they have this sexual dimorphism. Now, when we talk about Gir National Park, Gir National Park, Gujarat is the only place where Asiatic lion, also sometimes called as Persian lion, they are found in natural abode. Fine, they found in their natural abode in the Gir National Park. Now, Gir National Park, it is the only natural abode of Asiatic lion. So recently, cyclone Biparjoy that came, it also impacted the basically what happened because of cyclone Biparjoy, the conservation of Gir lions. It recently there were some problems that came. Okay, now in size they are smaller than African lions. IUCN status is endangered. Fine, and they are Wildlife Protection Act Schedule 1. Okay. Now, one very important thing is related to this is that Maldharis, they also live around Gir National Park area. Maldharis, they also live around Gir National Park area. Now, basically, Maldharis, they have a positive relation with the lions. Maldharis, they have a symbiotic relations with the lion. They protect lion. Now, with this, I just want to give you one additional concept. There are certain tribes which are called as eco-warrior tribes. Eco-warrior tribes. Eco-warrior tribes are those tribes which have eco-warrior tribes are those tribes that protect environment, that protect ecology, that protect certain varieties of flora or fauna. Eco-warrior communities. And Maldharis happen to be one of an eco-warrior community. So in UPSC, even a question might be asked that they might give you certain tribes name or certain communities name and might ask that which of them are popularly known as eco-warrior tribe. Okay, fine. So Maldharis are one of an eco-warrior tribe. We have some other popular eco-warrior tribes also that were in news. Please write their names also. That were in news. Please write their names also. Bishnoi community of Rajasthan. Bishnoi community of Rajasthan. Okay. One Gujjars. One Gujjars of Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand. One Gujjars of Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand. Fine, majority of them are found in Uttarakhand only, but some of them are in Himachal Pradesh also. Khasi community of Meghalaya. Khasi community of Meghalaya. Idu Mishmi of Arunachal Pradesh. Idu Mishmi of Arunachal Pradesh. Idu Mishmi of Arunachal Pradesh. Please write one line as we writing Idu Mishmi. Please write one line. They believe tiger are their elder brother. They believe tiger are their elder brother. And Apatani tribe of Arunachal Pradesh. Apatani tribe of Arunachal Pradesh. Apatani tribe of Arunachal Pradesh. Okay. So they are popularly called as eco-warrior tribes. Eco-warrior tribes. Why they are called as eco-warrior tribes? Because of the role they play in conservation of environment and ecology. So Maldharis, Bishnois, Van Gujjar, Khasi, Idu Mushmi, Apatani. They are the major ones, and they have been in the news also. Okay. Fine. Yes, can we move? I hope you have noted it down. Moving on. The next is alligator gar fish. Alligator gar fish. Alligator gar fish. So alligator gar fish was in news. Why? Because it is an invasive variety of fish. It is an invasive. So already we have discussed that invasive varieties of flora and fauna are the one which are introduced from some foreign locations. They are naturally not found there. So now this alligator garfish that is found in Dal Lake in Kashmir, it can grow up to 8 feet. It can grow up to 8 feet, and it is dangerous to the local or native varieties of fishes that we have here. And this is the largest fish of the alligator family, gar family. Okay. Now they can survive, sustain even in the cold waters. And this alligator garfish, they can even tolerate a wide range of salinity. They can survive in saline water, they can survive in fresh water, they can survive in brackish water. So large range of salinity they can survive, large range of temperature they can survive. And because of that, even in the winter season, they are able to survive. They are able to survive. Okay, fine. Eurohaline. Eurohaline. What is Eurohaline? Eurohaline fish are the ones which are able to tolerate the wide range of salinity, Okay. Also, they are found in the Bhopal and Kerala area. Fine. And they have a very long span of life, that is 20 to 30 years. IUCN status is least concerned. IUCN status is least concerned. Now, some important things with respect to the Dal Lake. So basically, guys, as we have the floating gardens in the Kebul Lomjoy National Park in Manipur. Fine, floating gardens, floating vegetations, as we have. Already UPSC asked a question also on that line. You might be knowing it also. Same way, there are the floating gardens that are in the Dal Lake also. These floating gardens are called as RAD. These floating gardens, they are called as RADs. So as we have in the, now we have the Fundis in the Loktak Lake in Manipur, which are the floating vegetation, floating gardens. Same way, there are the RADs, which are the floating gardens in Dal Lake. Dal Lake. Okay. Then spotted pond turtle. Spotted pond turtle. First, why it is called as spotted pond turtle? Because of the yellow color spots that are on its shell, that are on its body. No, so recently the spotted pond turtle was in news because there were the reports that came that the people are consuming the flesh of these spotted pond turtles. Fine, in the Kaziranga National Park, they are being captured and their flesh is being consumed. Okay. Now, this spotted pond turtle, they're also called as black pond turtle, black spotted turtle, Hamilton terrapin. Okay. Now, what is their IUCN status? IUCN status is endangered. IUCN status is endangered. and largely they are found in Kaziranga National Park. Now, if you recall, just a few minutes back, I told you that there can be 3 types of animals on the basis of their behavioral activities: nocturnal, diurnal, crepuscular. So the spotted pond turtle, they are crepuscular. They are crepuscular. Most active at twilight, that is dusk and dawn. So in diffused light, they'll be most active. So spotted pond turtle. Fine, spotted pond turtle, Hamilton terrapin, or called as the black pond turtle. Fine, different names. So what is the status? Status is endangered as per IUCN Red List, and where they are found in large numbers, they are found in the Kaziranga National Park. Now, Kaziranga National Park, we have already discussed about the Kaziranga National Park. Fine, where it is located? Located in Assam. National Park, Tiger Reserve, as well as the UNESCO World Heritage Site, as well as also important bird area. It is the home to the most number of one-horn rhino, which is the heaviest rhino variety. It is the heaviest rhino variety. Okay. Now, basically, guys, they bask in sun to regulate their body temperature. Means they take a sun bath. Now, one thing just I want to explain you guys, that when we talk about the turtles and tortoise, what is difference between turtle and tortoise? What is difference between turtles and tortoise? So the difference in turtle and tortoise is very simple. Turtles, most time they spend in water. Turtle, most time they spend on land. If you see the feet or the legs of the turtle and tortoise, turtle, they have flap-like feet like this. But when we talk about tortoise, they have elephantine feet like this. Now, these kind of feet are more suited for walking on ground. These kind of flaps, they are more suited for swimming. So, turtles, they spend most time under water. They are aquatic, predominantly they are aquatic. Sometimes they'll be coming on land also, but they'll stay most time in water. But tortoise, they are largely land dwelling. They are largely land dwelling. Fine, this difference we have discussed here also. Okay. Fine. Now, Kaziranga, it is also focused on the conservation of big 4 species. Now, the big cats we have discussed. Now, this is not big cat. Big cats we have discussed. Big 4 snakes we have discussed in Goa. Big 4 variety of snakes we have discussed. Now, big 4 species include rhino, one-horned rhino, elephant, Royal Bengal tiger, and Asiatic water buffalo. All of these are found in Kaziranga National Park, and for their conservation, special program is being carried in the Kaziranga National Park. Fine, for the protection of big 4. Then Himalayan brown bear. Okay. So Himalayan brown bear was in news. Why Himalayan brown bear was in news? Because, guys, see, first of all, what has happened, there are the many articles that were published in the newspaper that there are behavioral changes are coming in brown bear. What behavioral changes are coming? They are basically, they are the omnivorous animals, nocturnal animals. Omnivorous means they consume both. They can consume the vegetables, grasses, leaves, shrubs, etc., as well as the non-vegetarian and vegetarian food, both they eat. In Kashmir region, there are a lot of resorts that have been developed. And what they do, they discard garbage, they discard food in the open, in jungle, forest. And these bears, they come to eat them. And as they are coming to eat them, instances of man-animal conflict are increasing, because they'll come to the resort for eating this food. And when they'll see the humans, either they'll get panic or the humans will get panic, and the man-animal conflict will be there. Second issue that has come is that actually their wild instincts are now getting lost. So they need not to hunt. They live near a resort. They'll come out in the night, will eat the garbage, will eat the leftover food. So why they need to hunt? So their hunting instincts, their wild instincts, they are now getting lost. They are getting lost. So because of that, this Himalayan brown bear was in news. Now, Himalayan brown bear, they are largely found in Himalayan region, and therefore they will found in Jammu Kashmir, they'll found in Himachal Pradesh, and some numbers are found in Uttarakhand also. But in Jammu Kashmir, they have a very they have a lot of population. So they have thick fur, sandy or reddish brown color fur, and from there the name brown bear comes. They are omnivorous, nocturnal, means they can consume both leaves, vegetables, fruits, as well as the animal flesh. Threat: human-animal conflict, habitat loss, poaching. IUCN status is critically endangered. IUCN status is critically endangered. Critically endangered. Okay, and I told you it will found in Himalayan region. So Jammu Kashmir, certain hilly areas, Himalayan region around Pakistan, Nepal, Bhutan also they will be found. Tibet, Bhutan also they will be found. So Himalayan brown bear. Himalayan brown bear. Then next we have here floating gold ambergris. Floating gold ambergris. Now, basically, guys, recently this floating gold was found. Fine. Now, what is this floating gold? Now, it was found in the belly of a dead whale on the Spanish island of La Palma. Now, see, there is a specific variety of whale called as a sperm whale. So, basically, some of the sperm whales, not all, some of the sperm whales in their intestine, a waxy substance will be formed. That waxy substance, it is called as the gray amber or floating gold. Why? Sometimes what happens, whales, they just eject this waxy substance out of their body and it just floats and come on the coastline. It is very much valuable in beauty industry, perfume industry. It is very much valuable. Fine. And because of that, it is called as the floating gold. So recently, this floating gold or ambric or ambergris or gray amber, it was found in the belly of a dead whale on the Spanish island of La Palma. So what it is a solid waxy substance which originates in the intestine of sperm whale. All the sperm whales will not produce. Only 1% of sperm whales have in it, and because of this, actually, guys, illegal hunting, poaching of sperm whales have also increased, just in expectation that they might have this they might have this ambergris. Okay, so it contains alkaloids, acids, okay, and ambrin. Okay, now sperm whale, when we talk about the sperm whale's status, so first of all, sperm whale, okay, it founds in temperate and tropical waters around the world. Temperate and tropical waters around the world. So means it will be found in Atlantic, it will be found in Pacific Ocean and other marginal water bodies and seas also it will be found. The important thing is its IUCN status. What is IUCN status of sperm whale? IUCN status is vulnerable. IUCN status is vulnerable. Okay. Then next, South Indian cicada. South Indian cicada. So South Indian cicada, now what is cicada? Cicada is a variety of insects which have long, narrow, transparent wings. Okay, okay. So cicada, it is a variety or a species of insects. They will have long, narrow, transparent kind of wings. Sometimes they also look like the dragonfly. Okay. So recently, South Indian cicada, it has been given a name, that is the Purana Chichwada. Purana Chichwada. Okay. Now, one thing is that I'll not advise you to go too much in detail about its physiological feature. That okay, fine, no need to go. Now, these kind of insects, they have large eyes, transparent wings, and they make loud sounds. Okay, from their tymbals, which are the special organs to make these sounds. Now, these cicadas, they are found across the world, except the extreme places such as Antarctica. Extreme places such as Antarctica. Now, in India also, particularly in the Western Ghats, they are found. In India, in the Western Ghats, they are found. Now, what is the threat? Every creature which is living in forest, jungles, they will face one threat, that is the deforestation, habitat loss. Deforestation and habitat loss. Okay, and some pesticides, herbicides also. That is one of a loss that, but one of a danger that they are facing. Okay. So next Gambusia fish will be from Gambusia fish onwards.
Please,
We'll be
sir.
doing it in the next. Yes.
So I just read about this cicada, cicada, I guess. I don't know how to pronounce that. But is that a Malaysian species which
Yes.
was found in the southern India? Like, I read it earlier
There are,
about this. Like,
see,
if I'm
there are,
wrong, then
see, this cicada, basically they are, see, cicada is a family. Cicada is a family. Okay. So basically it is a family, and in a family, there are multiple species that are there. For example, if we talk about pangolins, so Indian pangolin is there, Chinese pangolin is there, then there are the pangolins in Africa also. So basically they thrive in the tropical areas. So yes, in Malaysia also these cicadas will be found. Okay. So so this is a big family. In India, Western Ghats region, we have this Purana chivada, which was earlier called as a South Indian cicada. So yes, you might have read that in Malaysia. Yes, they will be there in Malaysia. They'll be there in Bali. They'll be beyond the India also. You getting it or not?
yes, sir, got it.
Fine. So it is not distinct to India only. It's not distinct to India only. Within the cicada family, there are many distinct cicadas that we have. In India, we find this, particularly Western Ghat region, we have this South Indian cicada, which is now been renamed to the Purana chivada.
Okay, sir.
Okay,
Sir,
guys.
got it.
Fine, fine. So we'll be winding up here today. So tomorrow, guys, probably we'll be doing up with this environment class. We'll be completing with this particular theme. Okay. If you have any doubt till now, you may please ask your questions. If there is any doubt, if there's any question, you may ask your questions. Fine. And guys, I hope that you are able to understand the things that we are discussing, and I hope that the class is helping you out also. Please ensure this thing that you are revising. So just when you go back home, spending 15-20 minutes is more than sufficient. Spending 15-20 minutes is more than sufficient, because the things are very much fresh in your mind, and only if you will give 15-20 minutes, you will be able to retain maximum of the things. Okay, fine, guys. So that is all from my side for the today. Tomorrow we'll further be taking it up. Okay, guys. Thank you so much.